them giving this the Sunday night game and not the Niners Seahawks?
They couldn't Niners and the Seahawks the Sunday night game because the Niners was on Sunday night last week, so they couldn't do that.
But you also got to think about it. The league thinks that Baltimore and Pittsburgh is the biggest rivalry they got active right now.
Well,
it's an actual rivalry. Hey, we don't care about the QB matchup. We just care about the names. It's about the brand.
This is a name game. Steelers, Ravens. I mean, really, it's two. I'm not gonna call them bum teams right now, but this is gonna be a typical Steeler 13-10, 16-13 game. Cold. It's gonna be cold and it might have some bad weather. This is typical Steeler football. I got Pittsburgh in an ugly ass game.
With or without Lamar, it doesn't matter.
Even uglier with Lamar.
I think it's going to be interesting because Baltimore is in land that they're not used to being in. You're questioning the coach. You're questioning the quarterback. You got the hit piece that's been out on Lamar, talking about how he likes to practice in the afternoons and all this. And all that is some somebody in the ownership or somebody in the front office aired some grievances to this reporter. So let's not put too much weight on this reporter's report, because to me it seems like it's his mission to be anti-Lamar. But I do question Lamar whenever he gets hurt. He doesn't exactly, especially towards the end of the season, he doesn't make too much of a strong effort to get back on the field. I just can't see Pittsburgh winning this ball game with Jalen Warren.
They're going to lose a game at home with this. I mean, it's a regular season game, not a playoff.
Do you think the loser of this game, coach, gets fired? I didn't mean to catch you in a drink, but
no, I like that. Both of them have put in enough.
Neither of them. So it doesn't matter which one loses. You don't think
doesn't matter which one loses.
I don't think either guy that loses the game. Not only am I taking Miami plus 9.5 to cover, I think the Miami Hurricanes gonna get there. Not to be funny.
The Midnight Rider just broke down why he think my Canes don't have a shot against Ohio State. What do you think?
So, I think Ohio State and Miami are more similar than what most people give them for. So, I'm actually going to disagree with the Midnight Rider. Not only am I taking Miami plus 9.5 to cover, I think the Miami Hurricanes gonna get there. Not to be funny. I think Miami gonna get their revenge against Ohio State and beat Ohio State. I think Miami gets their revenge. I think Miami beats Ohio State. If Carson Beck does not turn the ball over, Miami will win the game. They will be in the game, but they will win the game if he doesn't turn the ball. I'm the only one taking Seattle. I believe in you, Sam Donald, for this week. I believe in you, Sam, for this week now.
Sam Donald on the road late season
with everything on the line.
Yeah, everything on the line.
All three have split. The Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, they've all split their meetings. This is the only meeting that has not been played yet because it's the last game of the last. But the Rams went 1-1 against Seattle, 1-1 against the 49ers. 49ers went 1-1 against the Rams, and they'll go 1-1 against Seattle. So I think this division, I think these are the three. You can make a case these are the three best teams in the NFC. Rams, Seattle, 49ers, whatever one you want to put in there.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Unapologetic Sports. It's your favorite Uncle Lee Ice, and I got my partner in crime with me. It's the Fly Guy, Flying Brian. What's up, man?
Some Lee Ice got some Christmas stuff got on today.
Oh no, what you flexing? Let me see the shirt. Flex the shirt again.
It's just a generic Buffalo shirt, but this is cool. This is the new Crucial Catch stuff that they do for cancer. So
okay.
Each color represents a form of cancer, and I have two of these on here. Two of these are the two of cancers that I've beaten. So it's pretty cool to have something like this.
That's probably your favorite present, man.
Yeah, it was. There's
cool.
a jersey. There's a Josh Allen jersey that looks like this, but I don't think it's real. I think somebody made it, but it looks so cool. But
yeah, man, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with that. I am impressed with that. How was your Christmas?
Good. Yeah, family was together. Everything was fine. I wasn't feeling great. I kind of had a rough day, but um, yeah, but everything went well. How was yours? Getting new commander stuff?
Actually, I did. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I did. Yeah, I sure did. Very nice. If I had time, I'd go get it and show the world.
I got
But
a new jersey, but I'm saving that for the playoffs.
okay.
Little tease for the audience. See what I'm wearing, my fashion.
All right, man. Let's thank everybody for last week. Tune in to last week's show. And let's thank everybody for tuning in this week's show. Like Lee Ice always say, I hope we can entertain y'all doing whatever we're going through. Whatever y'all going through, sit back, relax for 60 minutes and enjoy, chop it up. Feel free to comment. We love that because where we came from, B, we didn't have that. So we loving
No.
life.
Yeah,
When y'all
interacting with people is cool.
Yeah, when y'all comment, that makes our show, man. We love it. We absolutely love it. Fly guy, you ready to get things started?
Yes, sir.
All right. I ain't gonna tell you what's in the cup. Let's do it. All right. Before we get to the recap on the NFL, some news and notes. The Joker, man. But Denver got hurt last night, and it might be serious. Nikola Jokic, two-time? At least two-time. It might be a three-time MVP. Went down. They thinking it might be serious. He is that team, man. Any hopes for them to do anything is all on him. The greatest center with triple doubles, man. I hope he recovers quick. Denver is absolutely nothing without him. We got to send some prayers to Anthony Joshua, who was in a car accident. Hopefully he can pull through and come through this with no serious injury. But I heard that the accident was serious.
Yeah,
Kelly,
trainer and someone else passed away, right?
Who?
Like
Yeah, two people died in it. Yeah. So hopefully he can come through. Chip Kelly got hired again, man.
I missed that. Where did he get? High school?
Nah, the Northwestern hired him as their OC, man. This guy just keep getting jobs, man. I don't know, man. I don't. Maybe he can do something in Northwestern. I doubt it. I mean, it's just the OC job, but hey, he still gets a job.
Yeah, he still got. It's not high school, so.
And talk about a bad day for brothers. The Dig brothers, man. One gets cut and the other gets arrested. Trayvon Diggs, the former All-Pro cornerback, who I always thought was overrated. Dallas Cowboys said, "See, what you think about that?"
Yeah, I hope it's something that Buffalo goes after. I'm probably not. They're probably done with the Diggs family, but yeah, he's been hurt. I mean, I think it was 5-year. He had like a 5-year, almost like $100 million contract extension. Was it 2 years ago? But yeah, I'm overrated. I mean, he was pretty good at one time when he was injury plagued.
He got a lot of interceptions, but he got burnt a lot.
Yeah, I do remember that was the narrative that he would get burnt easy.
He's either going to get the interception or he's going to get burnt. If there was a name to fit him, 50-50. I mean, yeah, he made some plays getting innocent, but he gave up a lot. Terry McLaurin used to own him, by the way. And the other Diggs brother gets arrested. I mean, this sounds serious. This man gets arrested for strangulation, assault, and strangulation.
Felony strangulation and assault. I've read a little bit. What I read, it was his personal chef, I think. Was a female.
Personal live-in chef.
Yeah.
Apparently, he walked into her room. Apparently, it's over money and just start assaulting her.
Now, obviously, he's come out and completely denied it, but I don't know what the NFL. I think the NFL released a statement. I guess they're not going to suspend him because he's not guilty till proven or innocent till proven guilty. But he's going to be, or I think I read a reign like right around championship time. Now, hopefully, they won't have to worry about that. So who cares? But who knows?
If you're the New England Patriots, how do you handle? Do you suspend? I mean, it's the playoffs. How do you handle this?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're gonna go
because if he gets found guilty, then
it'll make
it's
him
going
look
to
bad.
be a PR nightmare. You let this guy play after,
Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of. I'm on a trash talking AFC East page on Facebook, so I deal with a lot of Drake May MVP nonsense, and I'm dealing with that after the game with Stafford, but also how Diggs is so great, and it was Buffalo's fault why he wanted to leave and all that, and now here we go.
Yeah, I hear a lot of things about him. I mean, who knows what's going on with that man? I mean, just go in somebody's room and strangle them. That's crazy. All right, B, let's get to the recap this Sunday or this past. Whoops, we had games Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Who you want to start out with first?
I guess we'll get it out of the way. Let's start off with the one of the bigger games, and although it was low scoring, it was a good game, and then it got exciting at the end. But the Eagles went into Buffalo, beat them 13-12. I make a lot of excuses, a lot of circumstances. Buffalo had a kicker that was off the couch. He was there last week, I think, but the extra point got blocked, so I think that had a lot to do with the reason they didn't go for the tie. We can talk about it a little bit.
We definitely talk about it.
But at the end of the day, Josh he missed the throw. He missed it. Khalil was open. The play design that they called worked. He just missed the throw. Whether or not he knew his foot injury or whatever, I don't know, but he missed it. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense again shut down for a half. They did absolutely nothing.
No.
This conversation would be very different if Josh hits the throw. It would pretty much be all about the Eagles' self-destruction and how another game that Buffalo pulls out and Josh gets it done, but he missed the throw, so it's a little bit of both. I personally wanted them to go for the field goal when they went for it early on in the game, or not early on in the half, where Josh got stopped at the 1. And I didn't want the 2-point conversion either. I wanted them to go in overtime. Now, there's a stat that a lot of people might not know. Josh Allen has never won a game in overtime. He's 0-5.
Damn.
So I know that's
I don't think that played into it.
No, I don't think it did either. But the reason I wanted to go to overtime, the Eagles offense has absolutely done nothing. And for pretty much the whole quarter, David on the field, 2 minutes? The 2 3-and-outs. They're soaking in the rain. They're ice cold. I felt, and Buffalo had all the momentum. After it happened, Buffalo's 1 for 7 on 2-point conversions this year. So again, I don't think this made it 1 for 7. They were 1 for 6 going into this. And again, I know the play call worked, and I know Josh missed the throw, but I just think you had more momentum going into overtime. I don't know. We see how many times these teams go through these 2-point conversions with the game on the line. How many times do they make them? Feels like they don't. So
you're right. And I'm sorry, I got into it with I did. Rule number 1. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing. Why?
Yeah.
This is unapologetic sports. How did that come out of my mouth?
Yeah.
But I got into it with a Philadelphia Eagle fan today. I said, man, y'all some trash. I am not, let me say it again. I am not, N-O-T, how about N-O-double-T, not impressed with the Philadelphia Eagles at all. Not impressed with Jalen Hurts. The man went 0 for 7 in the second half. I mean, stuff like this just keeps happening to them. I mean, it's going to bite them in their ass in the playoffs, man.
I mean, if you break it down, they had the 1 touchdown after the Josh fumble, and then they held the Eagles to 2 field goals after that. Then nothing in the second half. I know this might be sounding homerish, but I'm almost a little more. Josh makes the throw. Obviously, they win. Great, whatever. But that's the best Buffalo's defense has played all year. So that's good momentum having going into the playoffs. And again, most people I think would assume Allen makes that throw 8 or 9 10s at a time, 8 to 9 at a 10 times. So I'm actually I don't really feel much different going into playoffs. But like you said, you probably look at the Eagles even worse than you did, even though they won.
Mm-hmm. I do. I really do.
Because that offense from Buffalo is not typical. This is the first time they've been held to that low of points all year. They've been averaging probably 27, 28 points a game. So you would expect them to go that playoffs. This is what the 5th, 6th time the Eagles have done at a whole half with like no points. And then and he had 0 yards the entire half. And that's not the first time that's happened this year either. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not the first time this happened. I mean,
yeah, we'll do a full playoff preview probably next week.
That offense should not be like that. I mean, they got too much talent on wide receivers, running back, offensive line. I don't understand. I mean, you got to look right at the quarterback. I'm sorry, you got to look at him. Or the Philly fan that I got into it with, he said it's the offensive coordinator. So we'll see. All right, who we got next?
Probably the most exciting game of the week. Got the 49ers, who are, believe it or not, on a wild path to the first overall. I mean, number 1 seed. They can win it all. With a great game over the Bears. We'll talk about Brock Purdy in a few minutes in another segment, but out there looking like Tom Brady and Caleb Williams, again, completion percentage not great, but keep making big plays and big moments. And I know he missed the throw at the end. He was under pressure. He forced it, but Bears look like they're going to be pretty good in the playoffs, and they got a pretty bright future, it looks like. And looking at the betting odds, it looked like Kyle Shanahan might steal Coach of the Year away from Vrabel, which I'm all for. So, because the betting odds are pretty much dead even between him and Vrabel.
How? I mean, you expect that from.
I guess because they have the Fred Warner injury, all the injuries. Mac Jones played half the games this season, and they're might be the 1 seed. So, and they give unlike Buffalo where Josh gets all the credit, Kyle gets all the credit for Purdy, Matt. Anything they do on offense, it's all Kyle Shanahan. I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that's the narrative.
Worst to first. I mean, nobody picked the Bears to win the division. The way they win in the division. So.
Yeah, I thought he was close, but again, the betting he's fallen. But I was surprised to see Kyle Shanahan that close in the betting when I looked at it last night, because I wanted to see the Stafford and May betting, and
the Bears, man. The Bears have made me a believer. I mean, I was down on Ben Johnson and I was down on Caleb before the year, but hey, they made me a believer. Cleveland, Steelers, Shador, Myles Garrett. Is that who you had next?
Yeah. We got a few comments. Thanks, Matt, for joining. Yeah.
Matty.
Both games we just talked about were big, fun games. And yeah, I'm not the only one to talk about the 2-point conversion. And that's the reason I wanted them to go to overtime, because Philly did nothing in the second half. And why would I want a snap out of it?
Exactly. So. All three of us don't agree if we're going for 2. I think we're going to see that in some segment. All
right. So we got some guests coming on at 7. So we're going to do the flying high and the deep freezer a little early, but yeah, it's a couple more games real quick. So Steelers would I don't know. Tomlin wants to get fired. I don't know. I mean,
oh man, he almost made it.
What are you doing? I mean, I know it's a division game and it's on the road, but the Browns are terrible, and Shador didn't play good. I mean, the Steelers played awful, so they lost. And
I mean,
and with or without Lamar, I think the Ravens are going to beat them.
That was horrible, Pittsburgh. Yeah. Very horrible. I mean, you had a chance to clinch the division, and you threw up. You peed in the bed. Who you got next?
So the other game I had was the Ravens game. Green Bay looks like they're falling apart, and Tyler Huntley is leading the team well, and Derrick Henry, again, we'll talk about in about a minute or two. I don't know if it's statistical, but at one of the greatest games of his career and one of the greatest running games of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he should take a note from Dion, write a book. Give me the damn ball, part 2.
You got,
I mean, not Dion. What's my man that played for the Jets? Keyshawn Johnson wrote a book. Give me the damn ball. Derrick Henry, tell your coach that. Give you the damn ball. Just give you the damn ball.
So we'll preview that. Oh, hold on, real quick. We'll preview it at the end, but just real quick, do you think, obviously the division is on the line between the Ravens and the Steelers, but is there a job on the line? Loser gets fired, coach?
I think it is. I think it is.
And we don't even know, and then there's all these rumors about Lamar. If he might never play for the Ravens again, so we don't know what's going on with that. But
I can see that happen. I really can. I really see all of that. All right, man. It's time for y'all 2 favorite segments.
So we're gonna be flying high. So, again, get out of the way real quick. Looks like the MVP of the league is gonna be Drake May. So, there's no way he can't be flying high. Put on a great performance. Had 5 touchdowns. You know, he went against a great defense. And that's right, he played the Jets. Yeah, and he stole the MVP.
Still had a good game.
Yeah, it was fine. They're great. They're going to get one and done in the playoffs, and we'll hear all the excuses from Patriots. Or I'll hear all the excuses from Patriots fans. They're a young team, and he's a young quarterback. His first full season. They meet all expectations. It's okay that they were one and done in the playoffs. Anyway, Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, flying high. Niners as a whole. Brock Purdy had a great game. Keeps proving doubters wrong and why he got paid. Kyle Shanahan keeps proving why he's an offensive genius. And he's got a shot to win Coach of the Year. Denver Broncos. Again, I know they got a lot of the same doubts I think the Patriots have, but they're the number 1 seed, and I'm pretty sure they'll keep it. And of course, they're flying high right now. I don't think they'll be flying high too high when the playoffs start, but we'll see. We just mentioned him, Derrick Henry. I won't put the Ravens as a whole because the team as a whole is not quite flying high, even if they sneak into the playoffs. But Derrick Henry's flying high, proving why he should have got the ball for the last 12 minutes of the game the other week. And we haven't mentioned him once yet. But to me, this is the team I'm most afraid of in the playoffs. They have on an 8-game winning streak, and that's the Houston Texans.
Yeah, man.
Them and their defense is flying real high. And teams' offense are afraid of them. So that's the team I'm most worried about.
That defense is they're the best defense in there. I mean, they remind me of a back in the day defense. They put the
because it's not that they can lock you down. They whoop your ass. They tackle you. They not hurt her, but they don't hurt you. Yeah.
They don't F around.
No.
They don't F around. So yeah, you better go in there, buck up, put your seatbelt on, get ready to get your ass hit because they coming. Pause, but you know what I mean.
All right, so just quick flying high. I mean, we'll get more in depth next week because we're gonna have a lot of stuff going on in the playoffs. But Texans I think are flying higher than anyone right now, and they got the most momentum going in the playoffs. So
Trevor Lawrence didn't make it today.
Yeah, I feel bad that I'm not because they're flying under the radar, I guess. But
they get no respect, man.
Ain't nobody watching the game, so we didn't talk about a game in the recap. I don't think we previewed the game last week. You know, they just keep flying under the radar, and the way it's shaping because Herbert has been bent. Well, they're resting Herbert, so the Chargers are probably going to lose. Even if Buffalo doesn't play their starters very much, I still think they'll beat the Jets. So most likely the Bills will be the 6th seed. They're going to play the Jaguars in the opening round. So we'll talk about them a lot next week.
Who's going to play the Bills in the opening round?
Yeah, the way I think it's going to shape out.
If they win the division, right?
Yeah, the Jaguars win the division, and I think Buffalo will beat the Jets. I don't think the Chargers are going to win. They're going to rest all their starters. But it's the last game in the stadium, and they're wearing the red home.
That's the last game, right? They got to win.
I think Buffalo's going to play a little bit. So It's the way I believe it's going to
And
shoot
it's the
out.
Jets, so
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Mitch Trubisky can beat the Jets. So
it's going to be over by halftime, and they're going to be playing the song. What is it? Let's go Buffalo.
yeah, make me wanna shout. Yeah.
Is Marlon Levy going to be there?
I might have that in the background next week when we get ready for the
Is
playoff.
Marlon Levy going to be there?
Well, he's 100, so I don't know if they can get him out there or not. But
that man's 100 years old.
Yeah, 100.
All right, y'all. That was flying high. So now we go to the opposite. It's the Ice's deep freezer. This week I got pairs.
Okay.
Coaches and quarterbacks. Pairs.
Now we got a guest coming on in 5 minutes. I'm just guessing is his quarterback going to be in the freezer? I mean,
you brought it up. Let's get right to it.
I mean, I don't know what's going on in Tampa.
Baker and Bowles. How do you lose to the damn Miami Dolphins, man? I mean, Baker been in there for a while. Bowles went in there last week. They're gonna stay in there this week. They lost to the Miami Dolphins to start a rookie quarterback. Quinn, I hope I'm saying his name right. Quinn Ewers.
Ewers, something like that, yeah.
Quinn Ewers. How do you do that, man? Todd Bowles, come on, man. I can't defend you no more, bro. So you and your quarterback definitely in the deep freezer. Another one. Rodgers and Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Got a chance to wrap the division up. Cleveland, yeah, they have a good defense, but if you are a good team, you got to take care of business, man. They only had, 6 points?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is what, 88 years old?
I think so.
Mike Tomlin, he's a Hall of Fame coach. You got it. I mean, you couldn't ask for more against a lesser opponent to wrap up the division. Now, things can happen, You saw Derrick Henry go off on Sunday or Saturday, whenever they played.
Yeah.
You got to worry about that, I don't think Lamar's going to be available. Even if he is available, he's not going to be 100. I wouldn't play Lamar in this game after last week. It'd be Derrick Henry. Play action. But Tomlin and Rodgers, y'all definitely got to go in the deep freeze. You got a chance to clinch. And you laid an egg. You peed the bed, just like Baker and Bowles. And my last and not least, guess who it is?
I don't know. Me?
Allen and McDermott.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I got Allen because how do you miss that wide open guy, man?
Yeah, I know.
He was wide open.
Yeah, he was. I think that's why he missed him, because Josh all year has been used to his receivers never being open. So when he was open, Josh just like, oh, he's open, and didn't know what to do. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Wide open, and y'all didn't get started till what, the fourth quarter?
Yeah,
it was 13-0 forever. 13-0 forever. And McDermott, we talked about it earlier. Why go for two? Your defense has been fabulous, especially in the second half. You can't be afraid of the quarterback who was 0 for 7 in the second half. Kick the extra point and take it to overtime, man.
Yeah. Again, I think it's more, I mean, they're in your freezer, it's fine. I think if Matt Prater was there, I think it would have been different. Well, I think Matt Prater was there would have been different anyway, because they would have not missed the extra point earlier. And I know it was blocked, but I think it had way more to do with him worrying about the kicker hitting the extra point than, any other factors with the Eagles.
So why did you bring him on? I mean, come on, man. You got to trust in the kicker.
Yeah, I know. Well, they've already let it go.
These kickers are too good now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, you're not playing for nothing.
Well, they did.
No, at the time they could
I mean, they
still
did have
win
a
it.
shot, and the way the Dolphins have been playing, the Dolphins might have had a shot next week. They were playing for first, but that's why another reason that I didn't like them because they were playing for first.
Yeah.
Don't be so aggressive.
Don't be so So I mean, yeah. I would have put Jalen Hurts in there, but he won the game. So, but yeah, he's still doing like this. So that's Lee Ice's deep freezer. Tell them what's coming up next.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break, and we will come back with the next round of the college playoffs. Get a full preview with some special guests, and you're gonna hear all the wonderful and smart insight that I have about all the college.
Yeah, we just.
You still gotta think about me. Want someone to hold. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on. You still gotta think about me. Want someone to hold. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
All right, welcome back. We got a few people watching the show might recognize the guy we got in the on the show now.
Did you bring him on?
Yeah, he's there. You don't see him bottom left?
I don't see him. There he is.
Well, that's one way to
It's
look at it.
It's the Midnight Rider.
What's going on,
What's
man?
up,
How you
bro?
feeling? I'm good, man. How you
I'm
feeling?
good. I'm good, man. I'm good. I am really good. Staying cold, you know.
I see you also like being conservative, man.
Why you say that?
Because you got mad at what you call going for 2. You got a beat up quarterback. Defense has been playing well, but your quarterback's beat up. So let's try to get out of there without having to put him through any more stress. That's in the ball game.
Josh Allen,
that was the
beat up.
narrative I saw too. That they didn't want to
Yeah.
go to overtime. They didn't want Josh to play more.
Yeah, because he had a banged up foot.
Yeah.
He had been getting hit a couple times throughout the course of the game. So the right thing to do was to take your chance and just try to walk out. Plus, your field goal kicker had a kick blocked earlier. So I mean, what are we doing?
Hey, man. The odds are in favor of the kicker making the next kick. These kickers are too good today.
Yeah, I don't want to dance with that devil. If that was the main guy, I'm good.
Right.
Backup, Bagley.
Well, he wouldn't even back up because Prater is our guy that we got off the couch. Tyler Bass is their starting kicker. He's been out all year.
That's right. I forgot about Bass.
Yeah. So this is the technique. So this guy was fired from the Colts a few weeks ago for guess what? Missing an extra point. So Buffalo got him off the couch 2 weeks ago because Prater all of a sudden had a hamstring because I think he's a little younger than Phillip Rivers. So
No, he was here in that stretch of kickers in the last 2 years.
yeah, I know. I mean, he's been playing, but he wasn't on a roster in the beginning of the year. He's good.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that.
All right. How was your Christmas, Midnight Rider?
It was quiet and it was cool, man.
Just like I am.
Yeah, I mean, I just made like some chicken Alfredo, kicked my feet up and watched games all day, man.
Yeah,
What
the
team?
Commanders game was, you know, we'll be back next year. All right.
Man, go ahead. Talk to me.
We brought you on for your expertise, of course, for the college football playoffs. Going to break down each game. You want to start us off with the first game?
Yes, I will lead us in. So we've got number 10 Miami versus number 2 Ohio State. Ohio State.
Tell me why, Midnight Rider, that my Canes have a real shot to beat Ohio State.
I'll give it to you this way. The reason or the ways that Miami wins, the tailback, I think that his name was Kendricks. He has another dominant performance. Carson Beck doesn't pee the bed, and your defense overwhelms Justin Sayin. But I think what's going to happen is that the Buckeyes will shut down your run game. I think Sjpn and Smith and company will do just enough. Carnell Tate, a guy that the Commanders look at this upcoming draft. At that 7 spot, he's going to be there. You can pair him with Terry, and you got a nice little combination. But that's for another day and another time. But I like Ohio State to win this, and I think they're going to win it by 10. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, so don't fall in love with the over on this. This is going to be like a 20-10 ball game.
So you think Ohio State covers?
Yeah.
Dang, that's not good news, man. I don't want to hear that.
Well, I mean, I don't like your offense. I'm sorry. And I was wrong. I mean, y'all made me wrong last week because I had y'all losing the first round game to Texas A&M. But, yeah.
Hey, y'all, look who has joined us. Mr. Highly Opinionated himself, Nephew Josh. What's up, buddy?
My favorite uncle in the world. What's up, Lee Ice? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
What's up, Josh?
You see, the Midnight Rider just broke down why he think my Canes don't have a shot against Ohio State. What do you think?
Before I give my pick and give my thoughts on the game, let me say what's up to my guy. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you
What's
doing?
up, man?
Fly guy. My guy Brian, what's up, baby? And then that guy right there at the bottom of the screen, right here, Midnight Rider, man. What's going on, man? All love, baby.
What's up, baby, man?
So, playing that ball is we actually filmed Highly Opinionated today, so it should come out tomorrow. So we actually did these 4 games. So, this particular game, I'm gonna stick to my pick that I had on the show. Ohio State's favored by 9.5 against Miami. To me, I think Miami and Ohio State are very, very similar. Very similar. They play very good defense. They need the quarterbacks to don't make the bonehead mistakes. Now, Ohio State has a little bit more playmakers with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate than what Miami does. Miami got the kid Tony. They got Fletcher, the running back. They got another wide receiver. What's his name? Brian, something like that. I think that's his last name. Something like that. Whatever. So, I think Ohio State and Miami are more similar than what most people give them for. So I'm actually going to disagree with the Midnight Rider. Not only am I taking Miami plus 9.5 to cover, I think the Miami Hurricanes gonna get their, not to be funny. I think Miami gonna get their revenge against Ohio State and beat Ohio State. I watch the Sideline Junkies podcast network. These guys, ladies and gentlemen, they like talking about things that happened in 1979,
Yeah.
1985.
They stole that shit. They stole that national championship from us, man.
No, I'm about to get back to you. I actually, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to y'all something that was a little bit around my time in like 2003. That was this game called the Fiesta Bowl between Ohio State and Miami, the number 1 versus number 2 team in the country. And there was Ohio State did complete a 4th and like 14 in the second overtime to get it down, but the game came down to a controversial pass interference call. Chris Gamble, that was a non-pass interference. I thought it was a non-pass interference, but hey, whatever. Sour grapes gotta be sour grapes.
It wasn't pass interference. Everybody saw it.
And Miami lost that game. I think Miami gets their revenge. I think Miami beats Ohio State. I expect Carson Beck to not turn the ball over. If Carson Beck does not turn the ball over, Miami will win the game. They will be in the game, but they will win the game if he doesn't turn the ball over. Give me the U. I like the Hurricanes.
All right. That's what I want to hear. What's the second game?
Right. We have the next game is going to be number 5, Oregon, favored by 2.5. Going against number 4, Texas Tech. All right, Josh, go ahead and you started off this one.
So, conflicting game for me. I like Dan Lanning. I love Dan Lanning, what he's done at Oregon. But what Texas Tech has done, I was on Texas Tech early. If you watch Highly Opinionated, before the season started, I had Texas Tech making the playoff. I thought they would win the Big 12, and they did that. I want to give a stat out before I pick the game. There were 4 teams last year in the college football playoff that had a bye. The number 1 seed Oregon Ducks, the number 2 seed Georgia Bulldogs, the number 3 seed Boise State. Boise State was the 3 seed, and the number 4 seed was the Arizona State Sun Devils. All 4 of those teams last year in the second round of college football playoff, they lost. So having the bye actually didn't help. However, I think having the bye will help in this game. I'm riding. I've been riding with Texas Tech all day, all year. I'm gonna ride with them again. Give me Texas Tech.
So that's 2 upsets in a row for you. All right.
I agree with you on Texas Tech. But there's a little place they say, "Tell me how you get to Sesame Street." I just don't like the way you got to Sesame Street. But I totally agree with you in your analysis of this ball game. I think Texas Tech is going to win this ball game. But when you talked about last year and you referenced last year, the thing that didn't help the people that had buys last year, well, they were all lower ranked teams. So you had teams with buys that were just the conference champions, and that's why the conference champions got swept. It wasn't really I don't think it was a delay thing or a buy thing. I think this time you'll get a true recognition of if it's the buy or if it's the teams actually playing. So I like what you said there, and I like the fact that you went back to that. But we got to the same place with just different routes. I like Texas Tech to win this, but I do think Dante Moore shines a little bit in this ball game, and he gets harassed by this tough defense.
Right. Hold on. Let me just make this point. So I get the point about last year because it was different. Arizona State and Boise State had buys in the second round, and I get that. But Oregon was a powerhouse team and got destroyed. Now, Georgia lost their game because they lost their quarterback, so I give them a pass for that. But Oregon got destroyed, and I know it was against the national champion. But Oregon, you can tell they weren't ready. They weren't prepared. It wasn't like they didn't know how to play Ohio State. They played them a couple months ago and beat them. They beat them by 1 point last year. So, for me, I get your point about Arizona State and Boise State. You're 100% right. But the bigger teams, think about it. I know Georgia lost their quarterback, but they didn't even come out with the sense of urgency that they needed to beat a Notre Dame team last season in the Sugar Bowl. So for me, I think Texas Tech comes out guns blazing, knows the defense has to play good. Morton, the quarterback, I need him to step up. Byron Morton, he has almost 2,700 yards passing. I need him to do his thing. I need my guy Cameron Dickey, the running back, to do his thing. If they do that, Texas Tech Red Raiders will advance.
So who did you pick, Midnight Rider?
I'm with him, Texas Tech.
Yeah,
okay.
All right. So we got Roll Tide against Indiana, number 1 seed. Indiana favored by 7. All right, Midnight Rider, you can pick it a big upset.
Nah, because I just don't trust Alabama's run game. If you don't understand it right now, I just don't believe in Alabama. I mean, I haven't all season. That Georgia Woodshed whooping just changed my life, man. And I had to accept the way. And watching Cignetti coach this team, you gotta accept the ways of Cignetti. Like, you gotta Google him. He a winner. And I think this team last year, they got their feet wet by being on the spotlight and being in the national light. And now I think this kid defensively is way better than they were last year. And offense, if they can just do a couple things, the Maryland transfer Hemby gives them some rushing yards. The wide receiving core they have, and Mendoza actually plays like a true Heisman winner, not how Heisman winners play in the past in big games. I think Indiana wins this ball game, but I think it's like a 27-17. I think they pull away late. I think it's a good ball game up until like the midpoint of the third quarter. We get a turnover, whether it's a fumble, a kick return, something that changes the momentum. And I think Indiana rides the wave in with their tough defense, because their defense is very stingy. Josh?
So, first of all, Indiana, if you've been watching college football all season, you can make a case Indiana has been the best team all season. You can make that case. You definitely have that option.
Here, but
I think Indiana is the best team. I think that they should win the national championship. The last time Indiana played a football game was December the 6th. The first time they'll play the next time they'll play a football game will be January the 1st. That's a long time for college kids to not play a game, man. I'm just saying. So for that, I think Alabama comes out fast. I think they come out strong. They got down 17-0 at Oklahoma. They'll be ready because they understand they'll be ready for this game because they understand they can't start slow against Indiana. So on my show, this is the one game where I said I picked Indiana on my show. I'm taking Alabama. I like Alabama roll tide. Give me the tide, baby.
All right, so that's three
I
for
think
three
it's
on
an upset
underdogs.
too. I think Alabama wins too. I think the layoff is just too long when you playing a team that just played recently. I think it's an upset here.
I will say this, and I'm not hedging my bet. I'm picking Alabama. But if Indiana win this game, oh yeah, they good. I know what's up now. I know where they're gonna go. But I just need to see them win this game in this type of situation. Because again, looking at it right here, they played their last game was December the 6th. Their next game will be January the 1st. That's a long time for professional athletes. What the hell you think it is for college athletes?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Alabama.
All right, got one more. Number 6, Ole Miss versus number 3, Georgia Bulldogs. They are favored by 6.5. Let's not even make anybody wait. Josh, are you going to make it 4 for 4 on underdogs?
No, I will not. Give me the dogs. Go dogs. Georgia not losing 2 years in a row in the same building in their season. Last year, I just said earlier, they lost in the All-State Sugar Bowl. If you don't mind me, Midnight Rider, what game is this? That would be the All-State Sugar Bowl. So they playing in the same stadium they lost last year to Notre Dame, and they have their quarterback back this year. I get Georgia ain't played in a long time either. You can use that excuse against them. But Georgia a little different. I've seen them on the level. I've seen them in this type of atmosphere and in this type of play before. I haven't seen Indiana in this. So I gotta see Indiana do it. Georgia, I expect Georgia to win this game. And ladies and gentlemen, in the first round, when Ole Miss played Tulane, you ain't even hear nothing about Lane Kiffin. Oh, the fans wore stuff. They wore, you know what? Ole Miss wore jerseys in spite of Lane Kiffin. Come about 10:30, 11 o'clock on ESPN on New Year's Day, or you're going to be hearing a lot about Lane Kiffin. They're going to be like, damn, man, if he was there, we would have won this game. Give me the Bulldogs. Sick 'em dogs. Give me the dogs.
How they say it? Who's that coming down the track? It's the meme machine. Red and black. All I gotta say, man, I totally agree with Josh on this, man. I think Ole Miss runs into a buzzsaw this time, and I think they'll give a valiant effort. I think this ball game is going to be a shootout. I think we're going to get to the over for sure. Because the last ball game, Ole Miss scored on the first 5 drives. Now, difference is Lane Kiffin's the coach, but they got one of the play callers, Charlie Weiss Jr., still in the building. So that might make a difference. And Mr. Chambly, I know it's Chambliss, but I like to call him Chambly. He can make it happen, but I still take Georgia to win this ball game. And I think it's gonna be a nail biter. I think Georgia wins, but I think it's gonna be by a field goal. And I think that's gonna happen late in the ball game.
All right. So we got football tomorrow. We got football Friday, right? And then we got football Saturday. We got football Sunday. Good day. Good week. Oh, and there's New Year's or something coming up too.
Absolutely. Can't wait. Best time of the year. Well, best time of the
year. Man. The Bows.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make me a big bowl of chili on a big pot of chili on what's that, Thursday? And just sit. Get a big thing of rice, chili and rice, maybe a little cheese on top. Good to go the rest of the day, man.
Just stay by the bathroom.
Hey.
We thank y'all for y'all expertise. Again, them Now Ladies and Rock Creek sodas will be in the mail.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on that.
Can I get a substitution? Can I get barbecue? I want the barbecue ripples instead of the salt and vinegar. And then on the Rock Creek, if I can get the fruit punch or the strawberry, I'm good.
Well, I would apologize for sending you the other, but we don't do that on this show.
We don't
apologize on here, son. We don't do it. But we want y'all to stay with us for the rest of the show as we preview these division matchups for the division, the NFC South, the AFC North, and the NFC West. We're going to start with the NFC South. And I know somebody on here got a major interest in this game. Who want to start off? You want to start off, Fly Guy?
Yeah, I'll start off. Yeah, so we got Panthers versus Bucks. Bucks favored by 2.5 at home. To be honest with you, man, I don't know. I mean, neither team has looked impressive recently, but I'll go with the veteran. I know he's been bad been off for 6-7 weeks, but you got to outperform Bryce Young in this spot, and they're at home. So give me the Bucks in a close 17-13 win, get the division. As far as what they do in the playoffs, we'll talk about that next week.
Midnight Rider.
Yo, I don't know if can Tampa Bay win a division.
Well, so here's the thing. Yeah, that's my fault. So Tampa wins, Falcons have to lose.
Okay.
If the Panthers lose, they can still win the division if the Falcons win. Falcons can't win the division, but if they win, all three of them can be 8-9. And so whatever the way the tiebreaker works, Bucks don't win any tiebreakers, and it goes to the Panthers.
Well, the Falcons already won, so.
No, I'm saying for this week.
This week.
Yeah, if they win this week. Yeah.
Oh. So say that again. Break that down again.
If the Falcons win, they'll be 8-9. If the Bucks win, they'll be 8-9, and the Panthers will be 8-9 by the loss. But because of the way all the tiebreakers work, the Panthers would still get the tiebreaker over the Bucks and go to the playoffs.
Oh.
So the Bucks have to win, and the Falcons have to lose in order for them to get the division. That's my bad for not explaining that, because I forgot that was because the Falcons upset the Rams.
Dang.
Yeah.
So the Bucks I don't think they're gonna win the division because the Falcons gonna win. Well, then again, New Orleans they've been on a roll.
New Orleans has won 4 straight, so that has the effectiveness. And Tyler Shook, I mean, everybody didn't think he was a quality quarterback. I'll put my hand up and say I was one of them. But he's been showing strong lately. I don't know if it's because of the run game or what, but back on this game, Panthers and the Bucks, I just don't see the Bucks having any momentum, man. And I feel like the last 2 weeks, Todd Bowles calling people out. I think when they come to the game, the U-Hauls are gonna be packed up. You can see the golf clubs in the trunk, and I think Carolina's gonna win this. I think Rico Dowdale goes crazy on this ball game, and yeah, I think the Panthers win this and clinch the division, and Dan Morgan becomes your executive of the year.
Nephew?
Ditto.
What?
All I gotta say. Ditto.
He said ditto. He doesn't want
What?
All right. He did.
Okay, let me say I like the Carolina Panthers to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers started the season 6-1. They won one game in their last 7. They've been 1-7 in their last 8 games. I've seen nothing from Tampa Bay to make me think that they're going to win this game. And also, they needed the Falcons to lose on Monday. They needed the Falcons to lose Monday night Rams, and the Rams lost to them. So at that point, once that game ended, I knew exactly who I was picking. Carolina deserves it. I was a year late on them because I thought next year they could win the division, but they're going to win the division this year. Congratulations to Dan Morgan, my Tampa Bay's old offensive coordinator, Dave Canales, and shout out to Bryce Young. Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South. One more thing. Everyone in the NFC South, if you're not paying attention, is playing good, except for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. New Orleans look like they got the quarterback. The Falcons playing well. The Falcons playing better with Kirk Cousins than they ever played with Michael Penix, but that's another subject for another day.
Somebody. Go ahead.
The Panthers are playing well as well. So no, I know you was on that. You got that, but yeah, I like the Panthers.
I cannot believe I'm saying this. I mean, I dog this team and dog your quarterback, and I done put Todd Bowles in the freezer. I don't see how they lose this game. You can't continue to be that bad with the receivers and that. I mean, I've been saying Carolina's going to win this division. But how it's played out, and they still probably will because Atlanta's going to beat New Orleans. But I don't know why I'm picking Tampa Bay in this game. I just can't see them losing a game of this magnitude at home. The quarterback and Todd Bowles, they can't just keep falling, man.
I can't. I can. They're Tampa Bay's problem. Listen, Baker Mayfield has not played well in the second half of the season. I'll own that. I'm a fan. I'm a supporter. When my guy don't play well, I call everybody else guy out. I'm gonna call my guy out. But their defense has been bad for the last 2 years. Let's go back to last year. You said you can't imagine them losing, keep going on the free for all and losing a home playoff game. Let me say this. I know you know this answer. Didn't Tampa Bay season end at home last year in the wild card round? In a game that they had to win to keep winning? Cool. So that means that they have it in their repertoire. That means they could pull it out again. I like the Panthers, man. They're the better team. They're the more complete, well-rounded team. They playing well. And hey, they got a real coach over there. So shout out to Dave Canales.
All right, y'all. Baltimore and the Steelers.
So this is actually the Sunday night game. How do you feel about them giving this the Sunday night game and not the Niners Seahawks? And we might get
they
Tyler.
couldn't make.
Go ahead.
My bad for cutting you up. They couldn't make the Niners and the Seahawks the Sunday night game because the Niners was on Sunday night last week, so they couldn't do that.
Oh, is that what it is?
And plus,
But Seattle
had
and
played.
San Fran, aren't they the Saturday night game?
Yeah, the Saturday night game. Let's always
So
look at it as the
Baltimore,
Sunday night game. It's
Pittsburgh.
always the game. Yeah.
But you also got to think about it. The league thinks that Baltimore and Pittsburgh is the biggest rivalry they got active right now.
Well,
It's an active rivalry.
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely right.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, Tyler Huntley versus Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
Hey, we don't care about the QB matchup. We just care about the names. It's about the brand.
This is a name game. Steelers, Ravens. I mean, really, it's two. I'm not gonna call them bum teams right now, but this is gonna be a typical Steeler 13-10, 16-13 game. Cold. It's gonna be cold and it might have some bad weather. This is typical Steeler football. I got Pittsburgh in an ugly ass game.
With or without Lamar, it doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
Okay.
Even uglier with Lamar.
I think it's going to be interesting because Baltimore is in land that they're not used to being in. You're questioning the coach. You're questioning the quarterback. You got the hit piece that's been out on Lamar, talking about how he likes to practice in the afternoons and all this. And all that is some somebody in the ownership or somebody in the front office aired some grievances to this reporter. And then also this reporter had the same report in 2022.
During the contract negotiations, yeah.
Yeah. So let's not put too much weight on this reporter's report because to me it seems like it's his mission to be anti-Lamar. But I do question Lamar whenever he gets hurt. He doesn't exactly, especially towards the end of the season, he doesn't make too much of a strong effort to get back on the field. I just think Pittsburgh don't have enough on the outside. If you beat me with Pat Frymuth and Gainwell and Jaylen Warren, then it was meant to be. It's like Jesus rising on the third day and we calling it Easter. I just can't. I can't do that. So give me the Ravens to win this. And what's my man? The stiff arm king, Derrick Henry. I think he goes wild again. I just can't see Pittsburgh winning this ball game with Jaylen Warren.
They're going to lose a game at home with this. I mean, it's a regular season game, not a playoff.
Well, it's like a playoff game, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going with the home team. Nephew.
Well, hold on, real quick. Do you think the loser of this game, coach, gets fired? I didn't mean to catch you in the drink, but
no, I like that. No, because I think both of them have put in enough.
Neither of them. So it doesn't matter which one loses. You don't think
doesn't matter which one loses.
Okay. All right, cool. And then Josh, same with your prediction.
I agree with Midnight Rider. I don't think either guy that loses the game will lose their job. For me, if the Ravens did that game plan at Green Bay against the Patriots, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So I think the Ravens aren't dumb. I think they're going to get the ball to 22, keep giving him the ball, make occasional plays in the passing game. And I think, like you said, 16 to 20, 17, 23 to 20, something like that. 23-20 would be crazy for both of these teams.
It ain't even going to be that high.
Yeah, like 17, 14, something like that, or, something like that. 16-13 maybe. But I like the Ravens. I just think they're the better team right now, playing with more momentum, got the better situation. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have his best weapon. And if you saw Sunday at Cleveland, he was trying to throw a game-winning touchdown pass on Denzel Ward to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who just got on the team. So, yeah, I like the Ravens. If the Ravens can't win this game, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. Straight up. They're not going to make it, but they wouldn't deserve it.
If the Ravens lose, I think Harbaugh gets fired. If Pittsburgh lose, Tomlin don't get fired, he's stepping down. So,
all right. So
we all know.
In that scenario, I see it this way. I think the team that loses, their offensive coordinator gets fired first thing Monday morning.
Okay.
So for me, because Arthur Smith is a favorite on Highly Opinionated, Tim absolutely loves him. I'm being facetious in me saying that. Tim fired forever. So, along with Kevin Patula. So, but that's another subject for another day. Anyway, my point is that Midnight Rider, you right. I think that I think one of these offensive coordinators has got to go. I think it's more likely to be the Steelers, Arthur Smith, than it is Todd Monken.
Yep. So I got real quick. Who you got?
Yeah, I got the Ravens. I mean, pretty much I think the Steelers and the momentum, I think, is a big deal. I know it's a home game, but I don't know if that really matters.
No, I'm the only one picking the Steelers. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Ravens coming off a big win over a playoff team, and you got the Steelers coming off a devastating loss over against the Browns. And I think it carries over, and I think the Ravens get it done, like you said, with or without Lamar. I think Tomlin does get fired. I think it's finally the excuse where he doesn't have a winning record, didn't have a winning season, not going to the playoffs. They can finally let him go. There's always been an excuse he's never had a losing season. If he loses Sunday, he's got a losing season.
I thought aren't they sitting at 9-7 right now? No?
Are they 9-7?
Yeah, they're 9-7, so
he
wouldn't have a
losing
season.
Yeah, another technicality on it. That actually, you know what? That would be the Steelers thing, that because he didn't make the playoffs, but it was a winning season, that he does get another year. I think I like that scenario better.
I think they're not going to fire him. He'll just step down. Same thing.
And then real quick, I know we got a few minutes, so we got to go for the Tuesday night show. But any chance Rodgers comes back, or is he finally going to hang it up?
I don't think he wants to come back.
Yeah, he don't want to come back.
I think Aaron Rodgers. I think Sunday night will be Aaron Rodgers' last game.
All right, so let's. Even though this is the biggest game of the week, we got the Seattle Seahawks against the. You know what? I think I got that back. I think I got the line backwards. Take that off. I think the Seahawks are favored. Are they not?
I don't have my app up. I'm sorry.
They're playing.
I got one thing written on a piece of paper. Yeah, I'll look it up real quick. It's in San Francisco.
To me, it doesn't matter.
Seattle favored by 1.5.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll take San Fran, and whatever the under is, because I think these two teams are battled out, because it is for the division and for the number 1 seed. But I think Seattle's gonna have enough with JSN to take this ball game and run away with it. Go ahead, Josh.
You picked San Fran?
So you said you took you
picked the 49ers.
So watching San Francisco play. Huh?
We're good. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. So watching the 49ers play on Sunday night against the Chicago Bears, didn't see no defense. Saw lack of defensive effort from the 49ers, which scares the hell out of me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back literally a year ago today, or a year ago this week. Sam Darnold was in the same position. It was just with Minnesota Vikings. Won your last 2 games, you win your number 1 seed, everything goes through you. Now, let me make this point. I do not believe in Seattle, but I believe in Seattle enough to beat the injured, depleted San Francisco 49ers. So give me Seattle to beat the 49ers.
Well, you brought up his name, and I'll continue. Sam Darnold turns into Sam Darnold this game.
Okay.
I think he throws multiple interceptions, and I take the 49ers. And they will be the number 1 seed. The Super Bowl goes through, well, they don't call it candlestick no more, but it goes through San Fran. Give me the 49ers.
Yeah, Darnold proved he finally won, I guess, a game that had meaning when he beat the Niners beat the Rams a few weeks ago. But I agree with you, Lee Ice. I think he turns into Sam Darnold, and Niners win. Go to the like you said, it runs through them. I don't think the Niners are going to make a Super Bowl though, but it definitely will be very interesting with them as the first seed.
I'm the only one taking Seattle. I believe in you, Sam Darnold, for this week. I believe in you, Sam, for this week now.
Sam Darnold on the road late season
with everything on the line.
Yeah, everything on the line.
All three have split. The Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers, they've all split their meetings. This is the only meeting that has not been played yet because it's the last game of the last. But the Rams went 1-1 against Seattle, 1-1 against the 49ers. 49ers went 1-1 against the Rams, and they'll go 1-1 against Seattle. So I think this division, I think these are the three. You can make a case these are the three best teams in the NFC. Rams, Seattle, 49ers, whatever order you want to put it in. So I think they're even enough where though they will split. I like Sam Darnold, man. I'm riding with you. Give me Seattle.
Hey, while you here, let me give you some love on you. When I was going highly opinionated with you, you said this is the best division in football. And I kind of poo-pooed it. But based on what I saw, this is the best division in football. So I gotta give you kudos on that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, brother.
Well, fellas, we thank y'all for coming on again. Wasn't the first, then still won't be the last. And I want to take personal time to wish my brothers on here a very happy, safe New Year.
Same to you.
Yep.
Same to you, sir.
So
I just want my annihilators.
They're coming. It's the holidays. Mel's a little slow.
Got you, man. It's coming. It's coming. All right.
I just want my soda. That's all I want. He can have the annihilators. I'll take the soda. So.
Midnight Rider, tell them what's coming up next on the Sideline Junkie Podcast Network.
As you can see, the letters in the background, baby. SJPN, Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. First, before I go into that, just know tomorrow morning when you wake up and you see the sun, your feet touch the ground. At 9 a.m., the audio version of this show will be available to you on all places that you can get podcasts and you can stream anything, whether it's Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any of those places, you can see this. Then, if you just at work and you got some time or you at home and you want to see something on the TV, don't forget to go to YouTube, click like and subscribe, pull this up, and you can watch these four pretty faces again, just in case you missed something early on in the show. Then after that, tonight, 7:45. Yep, I'm about to hop on over to the other side and go with the Tuesday night flight. You saw the video earlier, so we got the Tuesday night flight tonight at 7:45. We're off the rest of the week. You might get a gridiron on Saturday, and then you get the Sunday rise 11 a.m. And there's no better way to start your week off than with the Sunday rise.
I will say it
better myself.
It's pretty wild that I go into my podcast app to listen to the podcast, and I can listen to myself, and it's
you gotta love it, though.
It's in the podcast app. It looks like all the other podcasts I listen to. It's got a description like all the ones, and I hit it, and it's my voice. It's like that's pretty cool.
It's real cool, man. Really, really cool.
Hey, Brian, man. Hey, Brian.
For the last.
Hold on. I'm going to get a compliment. I'm going to get a compliment. Hold on, man.
No, I was saying, Brian, it's an amazing feeling, man. You're doing a great job, bro. So keep up the great work.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the opportunities, and we really love being here, and we enjoy doing the show.
Hey, Brian. Brian, I know this might not be the most formal way for me to do it, but next year during football season, I'd love to have you a guest on Highly Opinionated. We can make it. I appreciate that,
Make it happen, man. Make it happen. Make it happen. It's time for us to get out of here because it's flight time. For Mr. Highly Opinionated, for Mr. He's on every damn thing, the Midnight Rider, for the fly guy, Flying Brian, and your favorite Uncle Lee Ice. We are Unapologetic Sports on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. We leave you like we always leave you, whether you like it or don't like it. Damn it, you better learn to love it. We will see y'all next year.
Happy New Year, people!
I think Jacksonville's tiebreaker on Houston too. So really, it's positioning battles will take place this week, but the big game, of course, will be the one between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. That is going to be for the AFC South, and the winners in, losers out. On the NFC side, kind of similar. Seattle right now they have the number 1 seed locked up. Actually, if they beat San Francisco, if San Francisco wins, they get the number 1 seed, and San Francisco would then have home field advantage. And guess where the Super Bowl is at, ladies and gentlemen, this year? It is in. We have San Francisco. A little bit of breaking news in the NFL, but Sjpn Diggs was he was detained, and then his arraignment is coming up. He was facing a felony charge of strangulation and misdemeanor charge of assault from an alleged incident that took place on December 2nd. He is scheduled for arraignment on January 23rd, which would be the Friday before the AFC Championship game. We'll see what the NFL does on this. My gut's going to be that he's probably going to be. I don't see them doing much until the arraignment and see what happens with that. But that's a big piece of the puzzle for New England that is facing some legal trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this edition of Drive Time on this Tuesday, December 30th. 1 day left in 2025. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa to all those that celebrate. We still got the New Year's to come up and a lot of good sporting events to go with that. So before we get started, joined here, of course, by Showtime Sarah and Scooter. So we'll start with Sarah. How you doing?
I'm good. Got through holidays. Still got a little bit more to go, but I'm getting tired.
Well, I'll let that part be. So, Scooter, how you doing, sir?
Happy Ramahanu Kwanzaa to everyone. And as Bill Belichick might say, we're on New Year's.
That's right. So we got a big show here lined up here. I'm trying to get here, see if our little thing here is posting up on Facebook so I can do it here a different way, just to get as many people in here as we can. But the fun will begin here shortly. And of course, down the bottom, we're going to be doing a fun segment later for those Festivus fans, and there where we're going to let you air your fantasy grievances. So if you got some and you're watching, go ahead and put those in the comments now. We'll leave this up. And we're also going to do some New Year's resolutions for our favorite teams. So put yours in the comment. We're hoping to have some good times with this show. But we're going to start this off here with a bit of sad news. I'm hopefully get through this here, okay? But and even before we do that, of course, we're watching live on YouTube and Facebook, but you can, of course, listen to Drive Time while you're driving the next day. You can do that on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Castbox, and Odyssey. So basically anywhere, everywhere, you can listen to the show while you're driving. So you can listen to Drive Time while you're driving. I mean, what more can you ask for a good long drive of an hour plus or so, depending on our show days. So just that little reminder. Bringing back an old segment, and you'll see this in the, I'm actually wearing the shirt today, which is the cat shirt, which is funny. In the opening bit, which is my very first test show that we did, I was wearing the shirt. Now, had I known that shirt was then going to go on to then be the show pregame, I would have probably worn a different shirt, to be honest with you. But this shirt was a joke that my family gave me for a cat that I had, Chester, who's in the pictures here, for him, because he was my buddy. When I started working from home, he basically would be here, and you can see his little thing that he has on here of his full name, Chester J. Tubbington, in his other job as office manager. But of course, not only was he the office manager, he made several different appearances on the show. And my daughter, Sarah, of course, she got one of these great pictures of him right there, which is really cool. So, but unfortunately on Friday, we had to put Chester down, just had some kidney issues that developed. So, It's funny because I was thinking about telling KG maybe I could get a new theme song and maybe we can pick something that doesn't have me in the beginning. But now I'm kind of glad that it's there because every time I wear the shirt and I see the shirt, I think of him because he would always be right here on my desk when I work. So sadly, I had to put the poor guy down. But it's a fun little memory for him. So for Chester, this show is gonna be for you, buddy. So we'll miss having that. He had the loudest purr of any cat I've ever had. So. But he was a good kitty cat. So, all right, enough of the sadness. So I at least got through without completely tearing up. So, hey, I did pretty good there. All right, let's get to some fun. Of course, we have the big stuff here coming up. This weekend is going to be the college football playoffs, and the first one, of course, actually starts tomorrow. So let's update the bracket in case you forgot who's playing who for some reason. You got the big matchups here. We're down to the quarterfinals, and they do get started tomorrow night on New Year's Eve. We have our first game, which is going to be, of course, Miami against Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl down in Dallas, Texas. Well, whatever it is, wherever Dallas Stadium is, I think. Where is it, Arlington still, or wherever they call that place now? But anyway, the big stadium. So I'm going to save my prediction for last. Sarah, you can go first. What do you think on this one?
Miami's getting smoked.
Miami's getting smoked.
I mean, like when looking at like the record, yeah, Miami is only 11-2, but obviously Ohio State being their oh my gosh, what 12-1? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
But I mean, the fact that obviously Miami even made it into the playoffs is a whole different story. And then also with them beating Texas A&M. Like it's a sour subject for me, but Ohio State's got this one. I'm not worried at all. I don't think it's going to be really close either. Of course, I kind of thought that would be the same for the Miami and Texas A&M game, but that didn't happen. So who knows? But I think Ohio State still got the win. 99.9% sure.
Scooter, what you got?
So Miami, they can run the ball, they can pass the ball, they play great defense, one of the best defenses in the country against the rush and the pass. That all being said, Ohio State's even better than what about Miami. So I'm going with Ohio State. I'm not going with a huge blowout per se because Miami's defense is that good, but Ohio State has a chance to run away with it.
I'd love to say, of course, being a Buckeye fan, that I think Ohio State can do that. I'm sure if Anthony was on today, I don't know if he's sure if we'll see him in the comments or not. We know his love for his Miami Hurricanes. I have a feeling that Miami's going to keep this game close because, like you said, the defense is very good. And when Ohio State has gone up against a top defensive team, they've not put up the big points. Indiana was able to kind of keep them in check. Even Texas in that first game of the season was able to keep them in check. Michigan kept them in check for a half, and then they kind of got started pulling away. So the good news for Ohio State fans is that they do have all the weapons. Everyone should be fully healthy for this game, and that defense is just good. So I actually think this game could come under the under. It just, to me, kind of has like maybe a 20-10 type feel because I'm not sure that Miami's going to be able to score. Because vice versa, Indiana was a very good offense, and Ohio State's defense really kept them in check. And Ohio State's defense has done that to everybody this year. So this kind of has a 20-10 Ohio State feel for me. So it sounds like we all think Ohio State's going to win. Just Sarah has it being a blowout.
I think you're 20-10. That sounds legit. I like that. Yeah, and it's probably 20-10. It's probably like 13-10, and then it's 20-10.
Yeah, that's the type of feel that I got for too. Unless
and by the way, Ohio State's going to be down by 3 to begin with, as they always do.
Yeah, and then I'll start doing my ranting on Facebook that they're overrated and all that good stuff that everyone loves. Boss man checking in. Don't think the Canes have enough on offense. That's kind of how I feel too. I think their defense will keep them in the game. I just don't think that they're. I mean, look, they can only score what was it, 10 points against Texas, Texas Tech, and this is a whole different Texas A&M. This is a whole different beast. So we'll see how that goes. Then
and again, Ohio State's defense is that good, is that they can control Carson back. And I think that's what's going to go on.
Yep, and I agree with that too. I think that's going to be the key. Is that so I know a lot of people like to see Miami get the revenge from the infamous pass interference call that one year in the championship game, but we'll see. I don't know that's going to happen there. So, all right. Then the next game is going to be the Orange Bowl, which will be at noon on New Year's Day. You got number 4 Texas Tech against number 5 Oregon. I know Sarah had something going on there. So, Scooter, we'll start with you.
Again, this is another one of those matchups where they're both pretty equal teams. They both are really good at offense, both really good at defense. But I just think Texas Tech is a little better than Oregon. So I'm going with Texas Tech in this one. I think it'll be a real close game, and it may come down to the end. And I do think this is a kind of game that'll be like 43-38.
Yeah, I think this one could definitely be high scoring for sure. This one has the over feel to me all day long. Surprisingly, the Big Ten has not lost a bowl game yet this year. And I don't know if this will be the first one. Of course, there'll be other ones that are played on New Year's Day too, where I think they'll probably will get an L, but they've had a really strong bowl showing so far. I'm going to take Oregon. I think Texas Tech has maybe had a little bit of advantage with playing in the Big 12, but we'll see. This is a good matchup for them. I like Oregon, but I do like the shootout. This one kind of has like that 38-35 feel for me.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, what do you think? Can you get in before the dogs start barking again? Go for it.
I'm rooting for Texas Tech to win this, but I honestly can't tell you who would win this, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's such a toss-up because, like, Texas Tech has had a great season. Oregon's had probably like just about as great as a season. I can't tell you who would win this. I'm rooting for Texas Tech though. I hope they would pull it off, but like you said, I think this is probably going to be one of the closer ones out of the 4 games we got going on.
I agree. Bossman says he's leaning towards Oregon, which that's kind of high. Mine is a lean on Oregon. Then
I just want to lean on Texas Tech.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I get it. Next one up will be 4:00. The granddaddy of them all, as rest in peace Keith Jackson would say, the Rose Bowl will be brought to you with number 9 Alabama versus number 1 Indiana. Let's go, Sarah. You can go first on this one.
Indiana's. I'm pretty confident on it. Like, we could talk about Alabama making the playoffs over and over again. They got lucky with this. Oh my God, they got lucky with Oklahoma. But I think this is where their run gives out. Indiana's just a way too good of a team. Just everything from their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, and the pieces are together, and I don't think Alabama's going to be able to crack it.
Scooter, what you got?
So Alabama kind of struggles up front on defense. Their back end is good. Their front end is not so much, and they don't really get to the quarterback that much. So Alabama's going to have to do something. They're going to have to change up some of their schemes out in the secondary. But the problem is that Mendoza's so good against scheming in the secondary that he'll just fly around them. So Indiana, this is one of those like 27-17 Indiana games.
All right, let's see here. Bossman's got Bama by 10. Wow, that's a big run there for Bama. I'm leaning Indiana on this one. Yeah, I'm leaning Indiana on this one. I mean, this has that feel of one of those games I could see Alabama surprising people and winning. But I think that's going to be dependent on their run game to actually get going, and their run game has not been able to get going the last 2 or 3 weeks. And if you can't run the ball against Indiana, where they can just start feasting on the pass, I don't think that they're going to just. I think it's kind of similar to the Ohio State-Miami game. I don't think Alabama's going to be able to score enough points to stay with Indiana, because Indiana's going to get their 20 to 24. I just don't know if Alabama's going to be able to score more than them, unless they get some turnovers. So I'm sticking with Indiana. I think that they're legit. I think they show that they're legit against Ohio State. And I think Alabama just if Alabama's running the ball better, I'd be maybe pulling this upset string. I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball and control the clock. And you need to do that against Indiana. Then The last one coming to you from the Sugar Bowl in lovely New Orleans. We have Ole Miss against Georgia again. You got the SEC Battle Royale here in this one. Let's go, Scooter. Let you go first this time.
If you recall last year before the game, there's that terrorist attack that killed several people in the French Quarter.
Correct.
That was horrible, and that they had to postpone the game. So here's hoping everything is going to go well with this one. And when they play the game, Georgia and Ole Miss played earlier. Of course, there was a different coach on Ole Miss's part, but Kirby Smart was still there. But that was like 42-35. It was close, but Georgia pretty much they beat Ole Miss in every aspect of the game. So I think this isn't going to be any different. I think Georgia does come away with it, and I think it might be by about 15 to 20 points. So I think it's going to be more than what they did earlier.
Sarah, what you got?
This game obviously I think really highlights what Ole Miss is doing after Kiffin leaves. I don't think it's going to be enough for them to beat Georgia. I still do think Georgia is going to win, but I think it definitely defines a lot maybe what needs to be done about the team with their coaching changes. But I do see it being a close one. I still think Ole Miss will still stay in the game, but Georgia Miss will take it away.
Boss Man's got Georgia in a close one. I don't know it's going to be that close. I think this is where we see the Lane Kiffin effect finally take place for Ole Miss. I will say this: if somehow Ole Miss wins this game, I think they can. That might be some great momentum because you're going to have whoever wins this game is going to get the Ohio State Miami winner, and of course the Oregon Texas Tech will go with Alabama and Indiana. So this is going to be a fun one. But I think Georgia's going to win it. If somehow Ole Miss wins it, I think Ole Miss then could win the whole thing. So that would be my bold prediction, I guess, that if Ole Miss can get by Georgia, I think they could win the whole thing just because then they're going to have all that momentum going of not having Kiffin and using that to fire him up. So there you have it. There's all of our predictions for the big four games. Anything else on the college football side you guys want to throw in there before we start getting into the craziness that was yet another NFL week?
Well, I just hope it's gonna be great entertainment, especially tomorrow night. You want a good game tomorrow night leading up to the ball dropping. So let's get a good game going. Go Ohio State. I think they're gonna win.
I agree. We'll see how that all plays out. It should be fun for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have a little bit of breaking news in the NFL. Let me pull this back up here. But Sjpn Diggs was detained, and then his arraignment is coming up. So let me pull back up the story here again so that way I can get it here correctly. He was facing a felony charge of strangulation and a misdemeanor charge of assault from alleged incident that took place on December 2nd. He is scheduled for arraignment on January 23rd, which would be the Friday before the AFC Championship game, assuming, of course, that the Patriots get to said championship game. We'll see what the NFL does on this. My gut's going to be that he's probably going to be – I don't see them doing much until the arraignment and see what happens with that. But I don't know if the NFL will suspend him now or wait and see. You never know with the NFL. They've had times where they wait to see what happens legally, and then other times where they do it on their own. I don't know which way they're going to go on this, but it's a big piece of the puzzle for New England that is facing some legal trouble.
By the way, it's not Cardi B. She's not involved. It's in the TMZ report. She has nothing to do with it. It's an in-home chef who is saying that she was assaulted for not being paid, and she argued it. So it's a he said, she said. Apparently, she went to the cops like 10 days later, and she didn't take any pictures of bruising. So there's all that stuff. So I don't see the NFL doing anything about this until the offseason.
Probably agree with you on that. Is there anything to add on it?
Yeah, I would say probably they would have to wait for the arraignment to get any more information on it. The thing is, trying to look at it in a way of fairness. It just kind of like, I feel like the NFL gives a lot of more players more opportunities with, I don't know, I think you just see a lot of more cases like this in the NFL than other sports, unfortunately. I mean, NHL just had its recent toss up with, the 5 players, which we've already had plenty of a talk about. I would say the fair thing is to not play him. I get he's a star player, but I just look at it and I try to look at things in that kind of perspective with a guilty until proven innocent, just because it's so complicated. It's so complicated, but I would just say not to play him. But I'm aware that probably won't happen.
Yep, I think I understand your point of view on it, and I think it's a good point of view. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, the New England's not going to sit him unless he gets suspended. And I kind of agree with Scooter. I don't think they're going to do anything unless more news comes out where there's something definitive. Then they may have to change their mind on it. But my gut kind of tells me that they'll wait to see what happens and if he actually gets charged or how he pleads and what happens in the court hearing, which will probably be in the offseason for sure. All right, so there were some big games. Of course, we'll start with the one that there were a lot of games that knocked teams out this last week. The first one, of course, happened where Minnesota took out Detroit. Again, one of the biggest conundrums this year is what the hell happened to the Detroit Lions, and does that mean that the assistant coaches meant that much to Campbell? Because it seems like for whatever reason this team just could never get clicking. They lose to a not good Minnesota team, although Minnesota has somehow figured out a way to get to 500, so they're not completely terrible, but they lose and they are out of it. So we have the playoffs with no Detroit Lions in it this year. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
I feel like this was supposed to be the other way around. Like Detroit was supposed to be winning 23-10. But I don't know. Is Minnesota still in, or did they get out too?
No, they're eliminated.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, this is just a weird one. Obviously very disappointing for Detroit because I mean they needed to win their next 2 in order to even make the playoffs at all. So yeah, sucks. But as we can tell, this season is not going how anybody really thought it would. So
that is the understatement of the understatement. Scooter, what you got on it?
So Max Brosmer is the winning quarterback for Minnesota, and he passed for 51 yards. 51, 5,
right,
followed by a 1. 51. He won.
And they won 23.
13. They scored 23 points, and Detroit scored 10. And Detroit has all these offensive weapons.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's not forget that Minnesota was pretty good last year too.
True,
I mean,
they were
good this year, but I mean, their defense and their offense. I mean, they won 13 games that last season. But Detroit losing those 2 coordinators really did hurt. So the Jets may want to think about not firing their head coach because he's kind of good coach. Yeah. And obviously, we're seeing what the Bears are doing.
And I think the owner for the Jets already come out and said that he's safe for next year, so which is good because KG is always his whole thing is that if they ever fired him that he was gonna kind of take to the street. So it looks like that's gonna be safe.
I mean, Aaron's a good coach, so we're seeing what's going on.
No talent at all on that team. So meanwhile, the Houston Texans just keep on winning. I think this might be the most dangerous team in the AFC, and they took out the Chargers in a big battle for position. It gives them the tiebreaker in most of the tiebreakers for the higher seeds. I mean, they're likely still not going to be able to catch Jacksonville for the title, but for the AFC what's that one? South. But they're definitely in the playoffs with the win, and the Chargers are obviously still clearly in too. So it was a good game, but Houston pulls this one out 20-16. Scott, I'll let you start on this one. Any
yeah, I mean, it's a playoff game. I mean, they're not like there's the loser that loses is out, but it was like a playoff game because these are really 2 good teams, and they played playoff caliber game. 20-16. There weren't these great offensive stats going on there. I mean, C.J. Stroud did pass for over 51 yards. He actually almost passed for 250 yards, but he had 2 picks also. But these are both really good teams that could go far. We'll see.
I agree with that. Sarah, anything on this one?
I'm shocked by this one. I know Houston's good, but like I'm I'm still kind of underrating them. I don't know why. I really couldn't tell you why. It's just a gut feeling, but clearly my gut feeling is wrong. So yeah, I thought LA was gonna win this one, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm underrating Houston.
It took me a few games, but now I'm on board that bandwagon because that defense is just they just keep showing up week in and week out for sure.
And I think you're also seeing like D'Amico Ryans. He's a really good coach,
He is.
and he's given this really great. I mean he worked hard to get that opportunity, but that's his team, Houston. That's where he that's where he kind of played all his games, and he's a really good coach, and I'm happy for him because he's a really good guy.
Yep, and then the nightcap on the Saturday night, Baltimore destroyed Green Bay. The score I don't think makes it look that close. This was the Derrick Henry show. He ended up rushing for here. Got the numbers here. It was where'd my numbers go here on him? 216 yards, 4 touchdowns in this game. It basically took Green Bay with the Green Bay still in the playoffs, but they gave Chicago the division title. This created after the next game that we go over what will be a 1-game play-in battle for the AFC North, and it kept Baltimore's hopes alive. Scott, we'll go with you on this one. You can go next.
Yeah, well, first of all, Baltimore Tyler Huntley, the Snoop. Snoop gets 107 yards passing, so there's another one. With the 216 and 4 by Henry. That's what really does it. But the interesting part is, okay, so Green Bay got killed. They lost this game. They're better than what we saw there. Jordan Love wasn't playing, but we did see something really fun with Malik Willis. He had a passing touchdown. He had almost 300 yards. He led the team on rushes. He's 60 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 3 total touchdowns. Kind of seeing what he was back in Liberty, what he did there. And so he's a good quarterback that's learned and he's paid attention to details. So he could be someone on the move next year. That's an interesting pick.
Well, there's been some rumors that maybe Green Bay moves Love to a team that needs a quarterback and lets him be the starter too. So we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out in the offseason. That will be interesting to see. I imagine we'll see whenever Love is healthy if they put him back in there or not too. Because I agree with you.
I would hope Green Bay wouldn't do that because Love is and it's not like he's an injured guy all the time, but Love's a really good quarterback. So
I agree.
Malik will have to be the guy moving.
Yep. Sarah, any thoughts on this one?
What is going on this season? We'll talk about, I guess, the games for next week. But Baltimore just keeps me kind of like on a loop. It's like, are we going to be good this week? Or are we going to be bad this week? I don't know where we're going. I don't know where they're going. It's a roller coaster.
That's true with Baltimore for sure. Then we had the upset from of Sunday where Cleveland takes out the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what was basically Pittsburgh won that game. They would have clinched their spot. They struggled to put up points. It seemed like Pittsburgh was more worried about Myles Garrett not getting the sack record against them instead of actually like doing something on offense. So, and not that Cleveland's offense was better, but they did enough to win 13-6 in what was a pretty ugly football game in some cold weather conditions. But this creates, which we'll get to in a little bit here, this creates a winner take all for the AFC North. If Baltimore beats Pittsburgh, they win the division. If Pittsburgh wins, they win the division. So this one was not a good showing for Pittsburgh. Or if you're a Mike Tomlin fan, this is probably cause for concern, because if Pittsburgh loses this division, this happens at the end of every year where the fire Tomlin chants will be loud if Baltimore wins this game coming up. But we'll get to that next. What do you got? What do you got on this one here, Scooter?
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, Pittsburgh. Yeah, this is what they do. They get over 500, and they just, they don't do anything else. That's it.
Don't worry, they're still going to make the playoffs. They're just going to lose the first round.
No, but the best thing if they do is that you can't lose a playoff game if you don't make the playoffs, even though you're 1 game over 500.
That's true. Very, very true. All right. Any thoughts on this one, Sarah?
Mike Tomlin, dude, what happened? What what went on here? You had the pressure. The pressure is on you, and you just they just fell apart. Like there's we talk about oh my god, what was her name? What is her name that you always bring up? Her videos.
Her videos.
You like this girl's videos?
Annie Agar.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Annie.
Yep.
There's this other one I watch. I can't even. His name is clicking on me, but he always does like these game recaps, and the other teams are all talking, and all Cleveland does, and we're the Cleveland Browns. Those are the Cleveland Browns. That's all there is to explain them. It's just the Cleveland Browns.
Yep. But well, yeah, it was fun here because now everyone's all happy again. But it'll be short lived, I'm sure. So. And another team that just keeps on winning, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Indy did play them tough. This game was probably a little bit closer than what I thought it was honestly going to be, but Jacksonville wins 23-17. It seems like that was Philip Rivers' hurrah, because now that Indy's officially out, which Indy was eliminated with the Houston win the night before, but it seems like Indy's going to let somebody else play quarterback instead of Philip Rivers for the very last game. So the Philip Rivers experiment unfortunately comes to an end for Indy. And again, he wasn't terrible, but the Trevor Lawrence won this game with a couple rushing touchdowns, and they had just enough passing to lead Jacksonville to the win. They stay in control of their own destiny. They win this last week, and they win the AFC South. Scott, you can go first.
Yeah, I don't want to say it was like the ugliest game in the world, obviously not. But hey, Jacksonville, this is how you win in the playoffs. So they're ready for the playoffs, I think. And
yep.
I mean, that's a good thing. You got winning games. That's all that matters. Like Cleveland's like, oh, we won, we beat Pittsburgh. But Jacksonville, this one matters.
Agree. Sarah, anything on this one?
I'm just sad about Indy losing. Me and Scooter were on that ride when you were on. We just kept going. Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I saw a weird stat that Sauce Gardner, who was 1-7 with the Jets, who then got traded to the Colts, then went 1-7 with the 1-7 with was 1-7 with the Jets, and then he goes to Indy, and then they go 1-7 since they acquired him. One of those weird stats.
It's a weird stat. It's not Sauce Gardner's fault at all, but that's a weird stat.
Yep, it sure is. And then Carolina continues their tradition of win one, lose one, win one, lose one. This sets up an interesting matchup against Tampa Bay, who also lost this last week again. But we'll get to that later. But Seattle, continues to be in that position to win the NFC West, especially with the Rams' shocking loss to Atlanta, which we're not going to cover that one, but that was a bit of a surprise. So Seattle in control. We'll get to their big game that they have against San Francisco here in a bit too. But Seattle does what Seattle needed to do against Carolina. And anyone got anything on this one?
Yeah, Seattle's good. This is what's his face at quarterback? Why am I flaking on red?
Darnold.
Darnold. Yeah, Sam Darnold. So last year he won 13 games. This year he wins 13 games. Remember, he was the biggest bust in the history of the NFL.
Right.
And he is now one of only 5 quarterbacks to win 13 games in a row. I think in a row.
The question for Sam is going to be, though, can he do it in the playoffs? Because that's the whole thing with last year too. He couldn't do it. Can he win a playoff game and do it in the playoffs?
No, but I mean, okay, they put up 27 points against Carolina. Okay, so Seattle's defense is pretty good. Carolina, come on, man. Jalen Coker led the Carolina Panthers. 2 receptions, 16 yards.
Yeah, it just was not good.
In both stats. Bryce Young, 50 total passing yards. Oh my God! And they could make the playoffs.
Look! This is what my dad has said. Bryce Young, you don't know how he's gonna play. You just take it. You take it how you give it. But I'm just gonna talk about this because this is a team I'm riding with. Tampa Bay also lost to Miami, so we are still in the running. Okay, we're talking about this now, are we? Was that the last one?
They could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I said it. Carolina probably wasn't going to win to Seattle, but I thought that Tampa would win the one against Miami. But, we both lost. So Carolina is going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are going to be in the playoffs.
There you go. we've already made your prediction for when we get to that game here in the next slide. That's okay. I love it. So Ben throwing in here, one of 5 quarterbacks to win 13 games in back-to-back seasons. Yeah, so he is impressive for sure.
It's amazing because I never thought about that. Like you'd think, maybe someone did 13 wins 3 seasons in a row, but it doesn't happen much. So
nope. And then to me, what was the game of the night, or that night, San Francisco takes out Chicago 42-38 in a thriller back and forth game. Chicago's got the ball with a 4th down, or I think it was 4th down as time's expiring, and Caleb runs around, couldn't quite get the receiver open in time. So San Fran wins this game. But man, I hope these 2 teams play again. And if so, I hope that it is a fun one. Scooter, go ahead.
That was a great game. Chicago really, they pushed it, even though they didn't really do well rushing the ball too much. I mean, Caleb Williams is amazing, and Brock Purdy was really great too. So it's one of those, like I said earlier, with Jacksonville wins a win, San Francisco wins a win. Chicago, the loss, it stinks, but they're right there.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a good learning loss too for them.
They can still. The lowest then go down. They had a chance to get the 1 seed, which I think that's gone out. They still can get a 2 or 3 seed depending on what they do in the last week and what Philly does. But I agree, they're fine. That they didn't need to win it. But again, it was a fun game. It was a great game to watch.
And you do hope that if there's a playoff game, that it comes down to 42-38. That would be cool to watch.
Agree. Is there anything else on that one?
No, I mean, you guys took my words away. Chicago's going to be fine. It looks like a very fun game. And like you said, if they play together again, it was super close. I assume it'll be just as close. I don't know how it can be more close, but, I'm sure they'll find a way. But I think it'll be pretty fun.
I agree. Then you had the game of all games. The New York Giants just absolutely manhandled the Vegas Raiders 34-10. This was a battle of 2-win teams, and the Raiders made the Giants look like a 10-win team. That's how bad things are going right now in Las Vegas. They shut down Max Crosby. They shut down Brock Bowers for the year. Clearly, the tank is on. I'm not sure about Max Crosby being back next year because he was not very happy with being benched. He then later went on Instagram taking pictures of himself being able to play basketball and jumping on a trampoline, just so I kind of put a joke out to our little feed on all the different hosts that the Raiders are going to screw up the number 1 pick and draft a kicker in the first round because that's just what the Raiders do. But right now the Raiders are in control of the number 1 pick after this manhandling by the New York Football Giants.
Scooter, the Vegas tanking is, they're so good at tanking that General Patton is in his grave being proud of them right now. So good job, Vegas. But, obviously, the Giants went in there. They said, we're going to go and try to win this game, and we don't care about the draft pick. And good on the Giants for doing that. And, and good on the Vegas for tanking. They can, hopefully their pick works out well. And, something tells me it's going to be a guy from a certain Indiana university. So that's just my guess.
That'd be my hope. This is the Raiders in a nutshell. They are a gong show. 100% they are a gong show. That's the Raiders in one sound effect right there. Sarah, you have any thoughts on our poor Raiders?
I just think this explains it perfectly. In one of the group chats I had, somebody said, I generally love how much Raiders fans hate the fucking team. He said he's not because he showed a comment, which I could read that too if you want me to. He's like, it's not even mad. They're just saying things how it is.
It's just one debacle after another with this team. So we'll say that though maybe for a bit coming up here and a little bit later on. So all right, so that is last week. So if we take a quick look at the standings, really a lot of stuff is in place here. Denver is in control of their own destiny. They have the tiebreaker on New England if they finish tied. Jacksonville, I think, still has a weird chance, but I don't think that they have much of a chance. I think Jacksonville's tiebreaker on Houston too. So really, it's positioning battles will take place this week, but the big game, of course, will be the one between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. That is going to be for the AFC South, and the winners in, losers out. On the NFC side, kind of similar. Seattle right now they have the number 1 seed locked up. Actually, if they beat San Francisco, if San Francisco wins, they get the number 1 seed, and San Francisco would then have home field advantage. And guess where the Super Bowl is at, ladies and gentlemen, this year? It is in San Francisco. So if San Francisco beats Seattle, they would possibly not have to leave San Francisco for another game the rest of the year.
Ooh,
How about that for a little tidbit, huh?
fun for them.
Yes, it is. So that's kind of what we're, and of course, Carolina and Tampa Bay play. So you have the 3 big games. 2 of them are on Saturday. You have Seattle at San Francisco. Again, a lot on the line for this one. Winner has home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The loser, will get the wild card and have to likely go to the Tampa Bay, Carolina, which that's a whole nother story that we could get into. The fact that a division winner could be under 500 and still get to host a playoff game is crazy to me. But that's a subject for another day. So, Scott, what's your prediction for this one?
San Francisco, I think they're the better team. They have the experience. They've been there before, so I think they win this game. If it was in Seattle, that might be a little different, my reaction to it, but I'm going with San Francisco on this. I believe, be a close game, and I don't think it's going to be necessarily an explosive offensive game.
Sarah?
I'm fighting Scooter on this one. I think Seattle's got it. They're the better team. I get it. San Francisco has the home advantage, but Seattle is the better team. I don't think Seattle cares about home advantage. I mean, it's just, I don't even know their away record, but Seattle's got it. Seattle's the better team, just on paper. Like you said, Darnold, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things, but I think Seattle's got this one. It'll still be close though, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be a close game. I actually I think I like San Francisco only because it's at home. If it was in Seattle, I think Seattle would win this one. But I think the home field might actually help San Francisco on that one. And I don't know why I spelled San Francisco the way I did. I just realized.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah. The other interesting one on Saturday is Carolina at Tampa Bay. What is interesting about this is because Atlanta beat the Rams, there is a scenario where Carolina loses this game, but still can make the play, can still win the division. I believe Atlanta then has to win their game, and they could get Carolina in because of some weird tiebreaker that happens. So if Carolina wins this game, they definitely win the division. If Tampa Bay wins this game, they still may need help in order to win the division, which is kind of, since Atlanta won last night and kind of messed this thing all up. So it's an interesting little thing that I read today, but that's the way, if I read it correctly, that's the way that then if Atlanta wins, then Carolina still wins the division because Carolina beat Atlanta twice and Tampa Bay split with them, and somehow that matters. So, so I'll let you guys go first. Well, we already know Sarah said that Carolina has Tampa Bay winning this game. So, Scooter, what's your prediction on it?
I'm probably going to go with Tampa Bay. I think Carolina's game last week wasn't very good. I think Todd Bowles get the guys going, and Carolina's. They'll lose a game, but they should be proud. Even if they don't make the playoffs, they should be proud of their season, and they should carry forward.
We're not friends
for I think this is 8 weeks in a row. Carolina's won one, lost one. They lost last week. That means they have to win this week. So I go with Carolina and Tampa Bay just has not played well. It doesn't matter home or away. I don't know what happened to Ibuka because he looked like he's going to be rookie of the year for the first 5 weeks, and now they can't even find him in the offense. It's just I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if maybe he's hurt and they're hiding it or what. But I don't know how a guy goes from the first 5 weeks that he had in the season to basically non-existent, and that's what's happened to the poor kid. So I don't know what's going on there. But
remember, I thought Baker Mayfield at that same juncture was the MVP of the league.
That's right.
And I think he was, and then and he wasn't.
They just completely fallen apart for sure.
Yeah.
Then the big one Sunday night will be Baltimore and Pittsburgh, and I know there's been a lot of talk about why is this game the Sunday night game? It's blah blah blah, but whatever But look, it's Baltimore Pittsburgh. It's an old time rivalry. It's gonna it's gonna draw on TV, so I get why it's a Sunday night game. let's see. Sarah, you can go first on this one.
Call me crazy, but I think Pittsburgh's got it. Like I said, they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're still gonna lose a playoff game. Pittsburgh's got this. I think it's still gonna be a pretty ugly game, though. Either ugly, just low scoring, or like ugly, maybe possible blowout. I honestly couldn't tell you. It's just gonna be ugly in some sort of way. And sure, Sunday night, cool, fun, amazing, but I think this one's gonna be one to talk about for sure, but not probably in a good way.
Scooter?
Well, Lamar's still TBD, I think, right? So
Yes.
he may not play. And well, I mean, who knows? Pittsburgh hasn't played well anyways. So why can't Snoop go in there and beat Aaron Rodgers? I mean, it's not like Pittsburgh's that good of a team. They're not. I don't think Baltimore is that good of a team either. But in the beginning of the year, I picked Baltimore to go to the Super Bowl. But Baltimore's going to the playoffs, so it looks like
I think Baltimore remembered last week that they had Derrick Henry, and this is the time of year when you lean on Derrick Henry, and that's why I think Baltimore wins this game, because they have the better running back. Warren's been good for Pittsburgh, but and I still think there's still talk that T.J. Watt may not be back either. So no T.J. Watt, Derrick Henry. I'll take Derrick Henry all day long.
yes.
So those are the three big ones and how they're going to affect everything there. Anything on the NFL before we wrap up the NFL? But we're going to come back to that with some fantasy football talk here very shortly. But anything else on the NFL side of things? All right. So quick drive to the net segment. We don't have a lot of hockey. I mean, there's always, we can look at standings and stuff like that, but we got time to do that here. But what is coming up Friday night, January 2nd, is, of course, the Winter Classic. It features the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers in a real key battle as far as 2 points go towards the bottom of the Eastern Conference for a playoff picture. This is going to be a course that started in 2008, and so this is played in whatever the baseball ballpark is for Miami. I believe right now they are planning on having the roof open to make it as much as an outside game as they can, unless the weather doesn't cooperate, which with Miami is possible. But right now the forecast is holding off pretty steady. It's going to be 8 o'clock at night. Of course, the first one's back in 2008, where you had Sid the Kid win it in overtime or in the shootout against Buffalo with it snowing, and everyone loved it. This is going to be the second warm weather venue. It's last played in 2020 down in Dallas, Texas. Oddly, the home team is only has only won 6 of the 17 Winter Classics. So it seems that I think you get all the hype of it being in your city, and maybe it's hard to then live up to it when they've got more stuff to do than what the road team does. And surprisingly, 2 of the 17 Winter Classics, only 4 have gone to overtime. So just a little bit of history behind the game. You can kind of see the jerseys. Both teams are kind of, Florida's going back to the old cat jersey, which I still love, and then New York's kind of doing an homage to their 100-year jersey, just with the different colors in it. So these jerseys are okay. They're kind of but the game should be fun, and they'll have it all to themselves on that Friday night on the 2nd at 8 o'clock. So I like that the NHL got off the New Year's Day for this one, so they're not going up against the college football playoffs, which is smart for them. So we'll see how it does and what it looks like in Miami. Sarah, you can go first. Anything on the Winter Classic?
See, I was like kind of thinking about it. I'm kind of like, I feel a little sad that oh my god, freaking their captain isn't playing. I don't know why his name just blanked on me.
For Florida?
Yeah, Florida, right?
You're talking about your favorite guy?
Well, he's injured all season.
All right. No. Oh my god. No.
Oh, not Kachuk. You're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
What, Barkov?
Barkov, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's been injured all year though.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I'm kind of sad he's not playing in this, because I feel like it's
I
still...
get it. Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah. He deserves it probably like a little bit more out of everybody else.
Some people may say Jay Priester deserves it too, but whatever.
Anyways, but I think Florida's got this one. New York just isn't a great team. If they do somehow find a way to make it into the playoffs, I think it's a guaranteed first round exit. At least I would hope so. Because I think honestly one of the possibilities is them playing us. I think where it stands. But I think Florida's got this one. I'm guessing a 4-2 win from Florida.
I could buy that. Bob's been playing better, and the Rangers. Well, the only good thing for the Rangers is it's a road game, and for whatever reason, they're playing better on the road than at home this year. Scooter, any thoughts on the Winter Classic?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I read up on it that it will be open. The roof will be open at the ballpark, which is actually at the same site where the old Orange Bowl was. So
Right.
Interestingly enough, there's actually something going on at the Orange Bowl on January 2. But they're going to start with the game where the roof is going to be closed. And at some point they're going to open the roof, but they don't want to tell you yet.
Yeah,
And so that's kind of interesting.
it's supposed to be 73 there on Friday, and then it'll get cooler at night. That's why it's an 8 o'clock start too. But I think it's probably be maybe the first period, and then because they are concerned about the ice quality, they want to make sure it stays good. So, but they'll figure it out. They always do in these type. They've had games in LA for goodness sake. So, I think they'll be fine. Yeah, I think my gut will be in between first and second.
Probably in between first and second. And one of the things is they were saying it's probably going to be in the mid 50s to low 60s by the second period, I would think. It could even dip lower. People don't realize that it can get colder. I think they're actually going to get a cold streak coming up this week. One of the reasons they're starting at 8 is because of the sun. And they said that the sun, now it's not the blur, the glare or anything like that. It's that the sun actually does mess with the surface of the ice. And as we saw in Tahoe in 22, there were some issues with that. Even though how beautiful that was, it didn't work out that well. But I just want to say about the Florida Panthers uniforms, it looks like someone was really drunk watching the movie Gremlins and said, I'm going to make a cat out of a gremlin. And all they got to really do is put a stripe on the top of his head.
Yeah,
on the cat's head, and you have a stripe.
Yep.
So
that's good. Yeah, it does have a little gremlin look to it. Yeah, I do like the throwback to the old Panther. I still like that better than what they wear today. But that's just me. I know.
I like what they have today. Now the original one actually had a stick. You snap a stick. Right. But I do like the new one now.
Yeah, these are kind of bleh, but it is what it is. So, all right. So that's it for hockey, right? Yeah, that's it. So. We've been talking about this, this is time to bring back the fantasy drive-through segment. Yeah. And for those of you that are fans of Festivus, of course, one of the big things of Festivus is the airing of our grievances. And for most of us, last week was likely the Super Bowl week in most of your fantasy playoff sports, so I figured this was a great time to bring this up and bring it into play. So if you're watching now, if you want us to read your grievances is on fantasy football, you can go ahead and do that now. Sarah, I don't know if you do the fantasy football stuff, but you are up there in our picks league, so maybe you have a grievance to place due to that. So do you have any grievances of fantasy football or football picking that you'd like to air today?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on. I was just making my picks for this week. Let me see. What did I do? I want to see if there's a game that I chose somebody to win. Last week, I chose Detroit to win. That obviously didn't happen. I also chose LA and Green Bay to win. That did not happen. I chose Tampa to win, but I'm glad that didn't happen. I chose Pittsburgh to win. I chose Chicago and the Rams to win.
Yeah, rough week.
Yeah.
That's your grievance, I guess. It's all those teams, huh?
That was from last week. I can still look at the other ones.
But you're still in first though. You're still
I
game
know.
up on
Wait. Bosby's in second place.
Yeah. Yep, you're still game up on him. All right, Scooter, what do you got? What's your grievances?
My grievances is with me during the KFFL draft. I saw Dak Prescott sitting there. I go, you know what? I'm going to wait one more round, and then I'm picking Dak Prescott. So what happens? The pick before I pick, the dude picks Dak Prescott. So now I'm like, I got to get a quarterback now. Shoot. So I picked Kyler Murray, who, if you've been paying attention, he's had a rough season. So my quarterback situation was DOA, dead on arrival. So I blame myself.
Real quick, Bossman says gave a side eye to Showtime, so still had a week up, and Bossman gives his. He said, I drafted Godwin and Evans thinking they are going to have monster years with Baker. Yeah, and of course, Evans got hurt, so that's pretty easy. Mine is the duo of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet as a good old Midnight Rider likes to call him, because I had Kenneth Walker last year. He was a beast, and I thought for sure he's going to go off again this year. And that didn't happen, except for, of course, the 2 games I didn't play him in. When then they like, see, I was like, oh yeah, we have this guy Kenneth Walker on our team, but they basically made each other non-playable. And then, of course, last week I could have, if I would have played Zach, I would have won the final, but you couldn't. Basically, both of them made each other unplayable in fantasy football, because most of their games would be they get 7-8 carries for 40 yards, and maybe one of them would get a touchdown, but you know who is going to get that touchdown. So that is my Kenneth Walker went from a stud to I don't know what Seattle did with both of these guys, but I'm sure some of that is with how well Darnold played and JSN, but what are you going to do? But yeah, and I took him in both of my leagues. I took Kenneth Walker, and basically I could never play him because I didn't know what they were going to do. So that was.
How about a nice bottle of 2019 Charbonnet?
There you go. Just in honor of that. So yeah, so that would be mine for sure. Yeah, and if I had to do a second small one, it would be Pete Carroll, because he talked all this stuff about how he's going to go back to old school football and run the ball with Gianti, and Gianti was fine, but again, I couldn't do anything with Gianti either, because he just was the Raiders offense was just a complete and total nightmare this year. So I'm going to blame Pete Carroll and the offensive line. So that's my other airing of grievances, is the Raiders offensive line just stinks. Let's see here. I think Boss got another one. I accidentally hit the button and wasted a pick on a tight end in the 3rd or 4th round. The screen shifted when the pick came in. I was on the guy I wanted, and it shifted down, and I clicked. Yeah, I think we've all had those, especially if you're doing one of those quick time drafts where you've only got a minute. Those are ones here. Out of bounds checking in. Lamar Jackson sold me out. Yeah, I feel your pain on that one, because when Lamar plays, he is all world, but when he does not play or he's hurt, it's a tough one, and then you're just stuck. See, Midnight Rider checking in. Jordan Love. See, yeah, and then he's got my Kenneth Walker. Yep, I'm with you on Kenneth Walker, because he killed me in both of them. Just completely made himself. Yeah, I don't know, but that will go on about Kenneth Walker. So there we go. Those are all good ones there for sure. Yeah, because this week here, I'll just give you the example on my boy Kenneth Walker. He had 7 points last week, or in the championship week. The week before that, he had this crazy week where he gets 27, then 2.9, 3.8, 10, 13, 20, 8. He just was so inconsistent. And then same thing with Zach. He couldn't play him this week. He scores 27 points this week, and the weeks before that it was 27, 17, 3, 8, 11, 9, 6, 14. Just so inconsistent, those two. Let's see, we got some more coming in here. We got a Todd Hawkinson shout out for that. Yeah, I agree with that here too. Out of bounds, George Kittle. Yeah, at least towards the end here, the last couple of weeks, he was better. If you had him in your playoff rounds, we had early in the season. This is a big one here.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson, the guy's been a monster since he entered the league with guys like Cousins and Darnold. But 2025, what a dumpster fire! Played 16 games to 9.1 points per game. No bueno. Yeah, that's a good one. I did not have him on my team, but I know the guy that did in our league, Chip, was very unhappy with Justin Jefferson. It's just really, really completely crazy of what happened to him, for sure. So, well, there we have it, folks. We've aired out our grievances on those that maybe cost us or didn't cost us in the fantasy football ranks. That was a lot of fun, so I appreciate all the comments in there on this one. So let's keep the fun going here as we get into the new year. This was an idea.
You want a piece of me?
That's right. It's an ITF from Showtime, Sarah. So shout out to her. So this is your bit. Why don't you go ahead and take the lead on it?
Okay. All right. What team do we start off first, though? we'll go Carolina Hurricanes because I mean that's the most basic. It's the one I most know about. New Year's resolution number 1: trade for our goalie. Because we didn't, I should have brought it up, but one of our goalies, Pyotr Kochechikov, PK, is out for the season. He's kind of been battling an injury the entire, I think it's been since the start of the season, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And now he's just going to have to get surgery to get it fixed. Obviously, hope he recovers, especially in time for the playoffs. But Bussy, he carries us, but he can't carry us all the way. And we know how Freddie's been playing recently, so unless some sort of miracle happens, I'm just gonna put in. We need to trade for a goalie. We need to trade for a goalie so bad. I don't know who. I'd say anyone, but actually, I don't think I'd want to wish myself upon that. I'm trying to think of like any possibilities that could be up for rumors, but it's not.
You got Bennington and St. Louis, but the problem with
I
Bennington,
don't want Bennington.
St. Louis has kind of played themselves back into it again, and you got there's always was the rumor of Nashville with UC, but same thing with them that they played themselves back into it too.
UC.
So
I wouldn't mind him honestly, because.
Yep. Got the guy in Calgary, but I don't know that really be much of an upgrade. But
I don't know. But
again, Calgary's back into it too. So
we need to figure it out. I mean, we've struggled with injuries. I don't think it's really a resolution to get those fixed with. But it seems like we're trying to keep some guys floating around to deal with the injuries. So I mean, I think as long as we keep doing that, we're fine. I think we just signed some guy off of waivers. I think he's like a. Yeah, and he's like a big guy. So if that's our guy to lay some hits on some Florida Panthers, I'm fine with that. Oh my God! But yeah, somebody else go ahead. Okay. I'll go back.
Okay, Scott, what do you got?
I'm hoping that Dan Quinn, good old Dan Quinn, reverses the hat, gets a little more professional, and makes his guys work really hard and play the part. I know they love him and it's great to play for the guy, but come on, just a little, you're no Bill Belichick. You don't have to be a slob. He's allowed to be a slob. You're Dan Quinn. You have a really bad Super Bowl loss against Bill Belichick. So let's just turn the hat around, or don't wear a hat. Be proud of the bald head. Like, I got a lot of hair, but be proud of the bald head. Now, actually, I've seen him in the public. Coach Quinn walks around just like that in the public, like at luxury grocery stores where I've been to with him. and to his credit, instead of buying like luxurious bottles of Bordeaux, he goes and buys a 6-pack of Corona. So, okay. That's cool. He's a regular guy. Just for me, please.
All right. I like that one. Well, Sarah did take my Canes one, because I was also going to say I'd like to see the Canes get a goalie. So my other New Year's resolution, it would simply be for my Raiders to get a damn clue, just a small clue of what to do, because there's all this talk about that Tom Brady was going to, because he still calls the games, that this will be some advantage for the Raiders. Well, clearly it hasn't helped them for jack squat. They are still as clueless as ever. The offensive line is terrible. They have no wide receivers to speak of, really. None of the draft picks even this year worked out to be, if anything. The Pete Carroll, Geno Smith was a complete failure, as far as that goes. And yes, I think the Raiders now, a total Raider thing to do would be is to screw this up and somehow beat Kansas City this week and lose the number 1 pick. But I am not convinced that even if the Raiders have the number 1 pick, that they'll do the right thing. I totally see them screwing that up, and they will take the reincarnation of Sebastian Janikowski in the first round again in the first pick of the draft and just completely make a mess of things. So my hope is for the boy wonder to somehow get a clue, because Mark Davis does know he owns the WNBA team, and they've won 2 championships. So, but he's let that team just do its own thing and let the basketball folks handle the basketball stuff, and he just does. there's a chance if Pete Carroll gets fired this year that the Raiders will be having 5 coaches on their payroll, and none of them are the head coach. They won't even be in the building, and it will be up to our 5th coach, and it could be our 3rd GM because there's rumors that he's going to fire the GM. So it is just I don't know what to do on that front of it. We do got Midnight Ride's got a funny comment here for you. Sarah says when Sarah was moving in the dark, it looked like the Blair Witch Project. It did have that little bit of effect too. That was pretty funny.
Though this is my living space I've made. I've got it all set up. I added some of my cane stuff in here.
It's sharp looking.
I bought these pillows that match with this couch perfectly. It's coming together really well. I just still need to buy a new TV because I can't. Hold on. I'm just gonna show it real quick. I can't watch sports on there. So it's sad. It's sad and disappointing.
You gotta get an upgrade on that. That's for sure. Bossman throws in his New Year's resolution for his Buffalo Bills that they need a game changer on defense. Yeah, I think that's true. I could see that being a help for next year for sure. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm rooting for your Bills in the AFC. I'd like to see them, hopefully be able to pull it out here for you and get that Super Bowl win. But I'm not too confident either on them. I don't. That's the funny thing with the Super Bowl this year. You can make an argument for any team to be out in the first game that they play or win it all. It's just going to be it's going to be a crazy time. So
Absolutely.
So there's my New Year's resolution. I just want my Raiders to not suck.
I figured you want to, you were going to keep on my my head thing and just say Mark Davis should get rid of the Lloyd Christmas and go with a cool cut. Maybe he could take Dan Quinn's hat. If he took Dan Quinn's hat and put it backwards, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's anything. Yeah, well, anything would be. I don't care what he looks like. I just want him to just figure out somebody.
Apparently, he doesn't either.
Somebody to make this team just be competent again. Just that's all I ask for. I know it's a lot. All right, Sarah, you got any other ones you want to throw out there?
Well, I think you pretty much took it away with your rant on Vegas. NC State football, just beat UNC. Just beat UNC. That's all I care about. I can't say much more about how the season we're going to have next year. I did say as long as we're bowl eligible this year, that's all I care about. So maybe it's some steps up towards greatness. I'm not sure. But as long as we beat UNC this upcoming season, that is all I'm happy with because I think we're playing away too. So it'll be very interesting. But we've won away a couple times. So I'm not too concerned. Just beat UNC.
All right. I like it. So let's go ahead here and start wrapping things up here. We will have our show again next Monday, January 5th. It'll be the first show in 2026. For us, we'll recap the quarterfinals in the crazy world of the college football playoffs. It'll be our final week NFL recap, and we'll go ahead and give our wild card round predictions. Plus, we'll see what coaches get fired on that traditional first Monday after the season. So we'll see who has been fired by the time we go on the air. We'll have all that. We're going to do another little bit here too. We're going to give our top 5. We're doing 5 of them. Set that plan, Sarah. We're going to do our top 5 for 2025.
Yes. So this is a sports wrapped. I'm sure you've heard Spotify wrapped and all that. It's a sports wrap. Top 5 moments. Doesn't have to be from your favorite teams. It could just be anything that you found enjoyable, replayable, etc. Whatever you can think of. Top 5 moments until December 31st, 11:59 p.m. of 2025. Any moment.
All right. There you go. So we'll do that on next week.
It could include the Miami Hurricanes, by the way.
You could put the game on there. Yeah, I mean, if it ends before midnight.
I mean, you never know.
That's right. We could have it. And then looking a little bit further down the road, Monday, February 2nd, that one we will do our Olympic hockey preview because the Olympics will start up on February 4th. So we'll start getting our stuff together. We'll review all the teams' jerseys and rank the jerseys by probably by next week. We should have the lineups, which will be good. We'll see who made all the rosters and stuff, go over the rosters, go over the schedule, and we'll make our predictions for who's going to win gold, silver, and bronze. So that will be coming up in early February. And then eventually I'm going to do the whole legalized gambling thing too, but I'm going to save that for when we've got a little less stuff going on because I've got to prepare.
$5 you'd never get to it.
Yeah. Well done there. So that's what's coming up here down the road. Of course, again, we'll mention one more time, you can watch all of our shows live on YouTube and Facebook. Then you can listen to it next day on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Castbox, and Odyssey. So you can listen to Drive Time while you're driving. And coming up tonight at here about 6:30, so we got to get flying here because we have Unapologetic Sports will be up at 6:30 with the guys, and then Tuesday Night Flight will be on around 7:45, and then you got the rest of the lineup coming up this week here as well. Nothing but net in the passenger seat. Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm not sure if we'll have a gridiron or not on Saturday. I'm not sure how far they are along, and I think the WrestleManiacs are off this week still too. And then the Sunday Morning Rise will get you ready for all the games coming up this weekend too with their picks on the nickels. So a lot of good stuff coming up here on the old network. So, Sarah, anything you want to add before we say bye-bye?
Hold on, what was it? There was something that you're talking about in the upcoming. So funny, I think it happened with the Detroit game and the Carolina game with hockey. There was this little iconic Stormy, the mascot. He was doing this little thing where he said the Olympic reek is 3.5 feet shorter, but then he did the iconic "It's okay, size doesn't matter" joke. I just think that's important to note that.
Okay. All right, Scooter, what you got?
Well, I just want to say there's a lot of guys and gals on the networks that like Coach Powell and the gentleman, our good friend gentleman Jack, that they talk a lot about high school sports and college sports that not that we talk about much. And locally around here, some of you may know we lost a state trooper, a Delaware state trooper named Ty Snook. And Ty was 34 years old. He was killed 2 days before Christmas by a gunman. Gunman was then killed also by responding police. Ty was a state champion wrestler in Delaware. Went to St. Mark's, which is, it's a Joe Montana throw away from here. He went there, then enrolled into the University of Maryland. So for 4 years he was a Terp, and he was an NCAA wrestler for the Terps. So our heart goes out to him, his family, the Delaware State Troopers, and definitely also the University of Maryland, because they lost a good one.
Well said, Scooter. Well said. I'll just end with, of course, we all know tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So if you're going to go out and partake in beverages, please do not drive drunk. Too many bad accidents happen on this night. That's one of the big reasons why I just stay put. So please be safe. Do not drink and drive. What are you doing down there?
It'll be a good one.
You got all the props ready today. You had the Chardonnay ready to go. You had the glasses of beer and wine. Yeah.
From Hugh himself.
Oh boy.
You got it.
Oh, that's too crazy. So, but anyway, so as I was saying, just be safe out there if you're traveling tomorrow and on New Year's Day. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the football games that will be going on all day and stuff, and then the Winter Classic on that Friday. So, a lot of sports to look forward to. So, as I say at the end of every show, please make sure you hug your loved ones, tell them that you love them, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. But hopefully, you guys will all be back here with us next week. Appreciate all the comments and and then everyone enjoying the airing of grievances. If you missed the show, still put them out there in the comments. Love to see who you got out there. So. Until then, though, everyone, take care. We'll see you next Monday. There you go. Got the Dan Quinn hat on for the end. I love it.
The best defense you got out of this game was on the first play of the game, and that was the pop up, the pick six, walk it on back. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that play was, okay, if they can play defense like this, for the rest of this game, probably for the rest of the season, we talking about a Chicago defense like, what was that, mid 2000s, that kept winning on, Mike Brown picking passes off and running them back, or getting timely interceptions to set up field goals. They were a cardiac team.
You gotta look at that running back, Mark Fletcher. He had a hell of a game against Texas A&M. I want to say it was somewhere around $170 that he threw down. And then you got All-Americans on the defensive side for Miami. This game is going to be won in the trenches. I definitely think so. Reuben Bain, All-American for Miami. 3 sacks against Texas A&M. And then you got D-back Keontae Scott. 2 sacks against Texas A&M. So that Miami defense is going to be flying all over
NASCAR
the field.
Needs Hamlin to be racing, guys. Like he's the only dude that moves the needle. He's controversial. He'll say how it is. He'll call out other drivers. He'll call out NASCAR. It's just not this goody boy sort of network anymore. So I'm going to be following this guys closely. I'll be documenting this as we go, as we lead up to the Daytona 500. I'm sure we'll do something on that as we get closer. But yeah, in tragic fashion, Denny Hamlin loses his father, Dennis, and his mom's not in the best shape either, with a whole lot of burns all over her body. So sad news to start, but that's the update on Denny Hamlin.
You still gotta think about me. Want someone to hold. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on. You still gotta think about me. Want someone to hold. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, people of other worlds. I don't know if there's aliens or not. Shout out to Area 51. This is what we got tonight for you, baby. We got a little thing on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. You see the call letters in the corner, SJPN. Little show called the Tuesday Night Flight. And on this Tuesday Night Flight, we take you on a flight around the sports world. And see, for us, we're not limited like other people. We can talk about anything, any sport, anytime, any place. All right? This ain't no commander slogan. We ain't talking about the brotherhood. We talking about the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network with the ability to give you any sport you want, however you want it. That's what we do, and this is what we do. So tonight on the Tuesday Night Flight, we got a couple things we got to hit. We got to hit a conversation that's going to take us to the sad part of the world, but it's life. We got the man downstairs that you see, and actually I got to switch this because I can't do this here. I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to switch that view. We got the man in the top corner now, the correspondent. We got some breaking golf news. We got to set you up for the TGL. KG just gave you his outfit reveal. It's just like a gender reveal. It's no pink smoke or no blue smoke. It's just whatever his outfit is for the day. After that, we got a little section called On the Road with Jack Carr. So I don't know where Jack is. KG got that information. Jack probably also sending his picks. Then we take you to the college football playoffs and then anything else we have. But be ready because this flight is going to take you to many places and to many sports. And if you're not ready for that, I can't help you. With that being said, before I turn it over to the host of the show, the big guy KG, the other guy in the corner, tomorrow morning, you guys are going to do one great thing. And that great thing is be waking up. And you want to thank God for the blessing of waking up. All right? But then you're going to have the best thing in your world besides Folgers in your cup. And that's going to be the audio version of this show being available to you sometime after 9 a.m. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Podcast, wherever you get. Tune in, because I just pulled it up on Tune In. Wherever you get podcasts. And you're going to type in the word Sideline Junkies. That's all you got to do. Hit enter. Make sure you're on the podcast. And you're going to hear these voices tomorrow with this show. Just in case you missed something. Just in case you want to repeat something. And then, if you get that urge, because sometimes people get an urge, they think they got to see these faces. You know what I'm saying? They got to match the faces with the voices. So you're going to go to YouTube. And on YouTube, if you haven't already done it, and if you haven't done it, that's a shame. But I implore you to do it now. You're going to put in the Sideline Junkies. You're going to click like. You're going to click subscribe. And then anytime you want, you got this on demand. And anytime you want to see these three pretty faces, it's all up for you. You just pick the date and the time. We here. With that being said, welcome to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's the Tuesday Night Flight. The guy that's doing this here, I hope he got permission to do this because normally Mama Bear don't like to hear certain ways. But I'm going to turn it over to the big guy, KG.
My God.
You're muted.
Muted up.
See, you done got me in trouble. I'm trying to keep it quiet so she don't notice what I done did, but I done made a creation here. It's up. You told me where it up. It's up. Okay. I might have to go back in the hair and makeup, gentlemen. So thank you for getting me in trouble there, Midnight Rider.
I didn't get you in trouble. She saw it probably on the show.
How y'all gentlemen feeling this morning? What it tonight? Shoot.
I'm doing good, well. I mean, it's hard to believe boys are wrapping up another year here. I mean, they go by quick, don't they? I mean, I feel like the older I get, man, the quicker they go by. So, yeah, happy to be with you guys here tonight. Ready to get things started. Doing well.
Good deal. Yeah, man. I'm with him.
Lee Ice checking in. Good evening, my Sjpn brothers. What's happening, Lee Ice?
Lee Ice.
Yo, if you missed it earlier, Lee Ice do a great show on Unapologetic Sports. And the beauty of it is, I don't know if you saw their path before they got over to us, but Flying Brian is starting, like he's come out of his cocoon and becoming, I'm not going to use a butterfly. I'll let him peacock or whatever you want to do. He might be like Mark Wahlberg from the other guys. He might be a peacock. I don't know for sure. I don't know what flying animal he wants to be. He might want to be eagle, butterfly, peacock, because peacocks don't really fly, but whatever it is, he's starting to form that, and he's starting to get real comfortable. And that show is going, it's already taken off, but it's going to be a dangerous thing, baby. So I'm glad we got them on our side, and we ain't got to compete against them.
100%.
Agree with that. Now, we got to get this out the way because Midnight Rider said it best. This is life. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this over to the correspondent and let him take this one and navigate us through this.
Yeah, I mean, the world of NASCAR, guys, keeps taking some hits, right? You know, we had, I mean, just to kind of take you back just a touch, the end of the NASCAR season last year ended in turmoil, right? With the way Denny Hamlin ultimately, with 2 laps to go, didn't win the race because someone else got a flat tire. And there was questions about that, you know, was the 36-week season really equitable when you're just going to throw it all into one last race with 40 cars on the track and see who comes in first, you know? And it just, so there's been challenges there. Obviously during the fall here and beginning parts of winter, we had the NASCAR lawsuit, right? With the charter stuff going on with Jordan involved and Hamlin with 2311 Racing, which they finally settled out of court on that at the last moment, really in favor of Hamlin and Jordan. So NASCAR's got that hanging over its head. You know, last week we had Greg Biffle and his family perished in a plane crash. And then this weekend, unfortunately, Denny Hamlin lost his father, Dennis, who was already terminally ill, by the way, in a house fire. And his mom, Mary Lou, remains in a Wake Forest burn center in North Carolina, taking treatment. So, yeah, I mean, NASCAR needs a hug. It's in a tough spot. You know, the Daytona 500 is 6 weeks away, really, you know, and I'm beginning to wonder if, you know, Denny would race, you know. I think he would, just because his dad and his parents sacrificed so much time and money. Racing's not an inexpensive sport, you know. And this sort of me, as I'm a Denny Hamlin fan because since 2004 when J.D. Gibbs, you know, Joe Gibbs' son, discovered him as as a driver. So I'm sort of trying to be the correspondent here, and also, a big time fan of Denny Hamlin. I know you guys listening on audio can't see, but I'm holding up my number 11 shirt that I have, just to show a little bit of my fandom. So look, NASCAR needs Hamlin to be racing, guys. Like he's the only dude that moves the needle. He's controversial. He'll say how it is. He'll call out other drivers. He'll call out NASCAR. It's just not this goody boy sort of network anymore. So I'm going to be following this guys closely. I'll be documenting this as we go, as we lead up to the Daytona 500. I'm sure we'll do something on that as we get closer. But yeah, in tragic fashion, Denny Hamlin loses his father, Dennis, and his mom's not in the best shape either, with a whole lot of burns all over her body. So sad news to start, but that's the update on Denny Hamlin.
So
any thoughts?
To take it a step further, before I got in my car to come to work, when I say come to work, I'm talking about here, where I have the best job in the world. I have the best coworkers, where we do this thing 4 days a week, 5 days a week, some of us 6 days a week. But young lady I went to college with, I saw a message, and it said, rest in peace, and it kind of was a joke. And then knowing that we was gonna cover this today, Denny Hamlin. It's funny that you say he's your guy, but if he had just had the number 10, he'd be my guy. But I love Denny Hamlin. Like I think one of the first races we picked, I think it was in Martinsville, because I think Martinsville is this track, right?
He's got a lot of, but those Richmond, Martinsville, Michigan, those sort of not super speedways, he wins those too. But those, what they call short tracks, he's dominant.
Yes, and I'll never forget, it was like 2 years ago, we took a little moment and the Sideline Junkies decided to do NASCAR talk before we met you, and I picked Hamlin. He won, and then KG and Bossman didn't talk NASCAR the rest of the year. So I was like, all right, I guess they just win this.
Midnight Rider, Denny Hamlin's one of them dudes. Like he's won 60 races. He's one of the. I've been watching NASCAR a long time. For me, take the fandom away. Like he's like a top 12 driver for me ever. Like if all the cars, all the luck, all the tires were all created equal, he would. You know what I mean? Him, Larson, Dale Earnhardt. There's, Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty, those guys. What I'm saying? He's that talented of a driver. Where a lot of times he doesn't win because his motor blows up or they guess wrong on the timing of the fuel or something. But he's just a phenomenal talent when it comes to driving an automobile. That's for sure. So prayers are with Denny and his family right now. He's going. He's having a tough time.
Absolutely correct, and I agree with that. Prayers with his family. And when you said that he wins because of, he loses because of engine blows up, timing of fueling, and I the first thing I thought of was a Sugar Ray Robinson quote: "I never lost, I just ran out of time."
Yeah,
and I think that describes Denny Hamlin right there. He never loses; he just runs out of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, runs out of laps. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I think I hit something in the background. KG, you fix me up, dog. I'm sorry.
I got you.
I was looking for something else, and go ahead, KG. I'm sorry.
You good? We got it.
Where is it? All right, you know what? Hold on. The media assets aren't helping me out, and maybe it's an overlay. But here we go. Because it's a Tuesday, and because you said he's top 12, I don't know how prepared you are for this. But we do a thing. We call it the list. Impromptu for you. Top 5 NASCAR drivers. This could be your fandom. Let's make it easy one.
Well, I'm gonna do like 3 old timers and then 2 newer guys. Richard Petty's the king, right? So he's one, right?
Okay.
Bill Elliott is a dude I liked.
Number 9.
Number 9, growing up. He's awesome. Another guy, Cale Yarborough, right? So he's kind of in that tail end of he'd be 3. And then I'd put, just go kind of new school. I put Hamlin in there. And then, Larson's one, Jeff Gordon actually would be another one. And you can't forget Jimmy Johnson. That's another one. So he probably 5's hard. But Petty, Elliott, Yarborough, Jimmy Johnson, and Jeff Gordon. I think Hamlin's on the outside. I think Hamlin's like 6 or 7 on that list for me.
So just from my NASCAR experience, 1 would be Earnhardt Jr. Earnhardt. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Papa Earnhardt, the 3 car. Nothing's more iconic in the sport of racing than the number 3. Cale Yarborough was probably the first racer I remember falling in love with, and I think he was a 28 car. I could be wrong.
He had 2 numbers though, I think.
3 would be Jimmy Johnson because of his dominance. 4 would be Gordon. 5 would be a wild card. I think for me, it'd be Denny at 5 for me. And then you get your Bill Elliott's, your Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and those guys after that.
No, I think it's a pretty good list. Darrell Waltrip was another good driver.
Yes.
Dale Jarrett. It's so.
When I think of Dale Jarrett, and I don't mean this in no wrong way, but I feel like Dale Jarrett and Kyle Norton Jr. are like brothers in another world, in another universe. Like they're the same guy. Like, because I feel like Darrell Waltrip saved his number 1 many times. He was the blocker, and he helped somebody else win the race.
Yeah, he also, I think he won Gibbs's first Daytona in the Interstate Batteries car, Dale Jarrett, I think. So,
what's wrong, KG?
Because, like you said that, and you slipped Kyle Norton in there, and Dario sitting over here, he was like, Ricky Bobby. And it's funny because Talladega Nights is one of my go-to movies. You're feeling down, watch Talladega Nights, because if you smell a crispy substance behind you, you got to shake it before you bake it. Shake and bake. That's one of my favorites there.
For those that you have Amazon Prime, there's a documentary called Earnhardt that I would implore everyone to watch. You don't have to be a NASCAR fan or even a fan of auto racing to like this documentary. It really talks about the man. He was a tough individual to kind of deal with. Imagine growing up with your dad, never told you he loved you, things like that. That you really get it from Junior's, Dale Jr.'s perspective, who had a tough putt, to try to claw through the ranks. It wasn't nothing given to him. I promise you that. So that's good. And if you have a good audio system, it's phenomenal. The way they updated the audio from those old races, and it just sounds like phenomenal in your ears, or if you have a good home system. So something I recommend for sure.
Would it be under sports? What's it under?
I think if you just search Earnhardt, but it should probably be under sports.
Okay.
It's excellent.
It's crazy you guys say that, because what's the one that ESPN did with Barry Pepper? The Earnhardt movie that they did with him. And it led all the way up until Dale Sr.'s death. Like that right there.
Oh, I think that was a 30 for 30.
Yeah.
No, they actually did a full-length movie.
For real?
This is like 2003, 2004-ish.
Mm.
And when I tell you, it had J.K. Simmons in it, Barry Pepper, I forget who all. It had a pretty good cast in it. Can't remember the name of it, but I remember watching it, and I can only watch it once because it was still fresh. But Dale Earnhardt Sr. had to be my one of one. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Richard Petty, but Dale Earnhardt Sr. And then when he switched over to the black Goodwrench car, that number 3.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I love the number 3 is because of him. And I used to have an actual number 3 Matchbox. And it was the black, it was when right around the time he switched to the black one, the black car, and it was just like, okay, this is my guy. And
yeah, the black car is iconic, but I love when they hit him with the Wrangler throwback. Sometimes
I had to get older to appreciate it.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I had to grow up a little bit, but Dale's my number one. Dale Jr. is in there too because this is if it's my top five, I'll say Dale Sr., Jimmy Johnson. Well, Dale Sr., Richard Petty, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr. Those are my five, and I love Dale Jr. I love him more as a podcast and a fellow Commanders fan than anything.
Yep.
So,
Dirty Mo Media, I think his network's called, and that's where Hamlin's podcast is on his network. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Say that one more time.
Denny Hamlin's podcast. It's called Actions Detrimental. He's been doing it for 3 or 4 years now. After the races, he breaks down the race. He pulls no punches, holds no prisoners. He just calls it like he sees it. If Goodyear fucks up the tires for that week, he'll tell you. You know what I mean? If the track, if the people that working at the track didn't have the surface ready to go, he's going to call it like it was. If you did great, he'll say that too. So
they got a bunch of content, but I'm guessing you talking about the 2025 documentary. That's like a set of shows or set of
set of shows. Yeah.
Okay. I just put it to my watch list. So sometime at 2:30 in the morning, between now and tomorrow, it'll get something to get watched.
I'd be curious to know what you think. It's really good.
All right, man.
That sounds like a little homework for the days off. So yeah, I think I'll check that out.
It's cool.
All right, we switching gears here. Hint, hint.
I see what you did there.
We got a golf update with the correspondent.
Yeah, we're doing like Correspondence Clubhouse today, aren't we?
Yes, indeed.
So look, guys, there's news that's kind of rattling the golf world. So I appreciate our listeners, and our watchers following us along here. Hopefully, you can feel my fever with golf and the way I'm trying to get the word out on the sport to the masses here. But Brooks Koepka, a 5-time major champion, he decided to leave LIV, which is the Saudi-based golf league, right? So LIV Golf is a league I think it's in its 4th year now. It's basically guys getting paid up front to go play golf, kind of like a contract, like another sport, football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Pick whatever it is. So, but after 3 years there, him and LIV decided he was going to get out of his contract, which obviously I think there's going to be lawyers here involved, but what does that look like for LIV? LIV hasn't brought in a big name golfer in several years now, right? What happens with Bryson? Bryson DeChambeau is really holding the whole league up at this point. His contract's up this time next year. He's got leverage out the yin yang now. I mean, I think this league is really in trouble. I know they got a bunch of cash and plenty of money, but no one's going to. I mean, I lost $1 billion last year. Like how they're not going to keep losing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and keeps this thing afloat. So be curious to see what happens with that. Another thing, how Koepka got out of this contract was, LIV enticed these golfers by playing less golf, which was 3 days instead of 4. Right. So now, because of the world golf rankings, you need to play rounds of golf against good competition to improve your world golf ranking. So if you're only playing 3 rounds against lesser competition, you're going to accumulate less points. So to try to combat that or circumvent that, they decided to add the 4th round. The problem is now these guys signed up for less golf. Now, if you think about it, they're actually playing more golf.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Well, because LIV starting off here next month in Saudi Arabia, and then it's Australia, then it's Hong Kong, then it's Singapore, then it's South Africa. So if you're an American golfer, that extra day is your travel day back to the States. So now you're losing that. So that's how Koepka is going to ultimately, I think, wiggle himself out of this contract ultimately, right? By by them changing the contract, wanting him to play 4 days instead of 3 because he signed up for 3. So we'll see what happens there. Some of the research I've done, it sounds like the penalty, right? You got to realize you can't just come back to the PGA Tour. He left and got, paid money up front where a lot of golfers in the PGA Tour could have, and they decided to stay. So what they're saying is that the penalty is 1 year from the last live event that he would have played, which would have been August. So he's already exempt for the majors. So technically speaking, he can really play in the majors, re-identify and re-qualify himself for PGA Tour's future tournaments, right? And then in August, probably be able to get his tour card back. So it's gonna be curious to kind of see what happens with that. So it's some really wild stuff going on. I mean, it's right before the season's going to start. I mean, the Masters, if you're keeping track at home, is exactly, people, 100 days away from today. The Masters is 100 days away. So that's kind of a live and PGA Tour update. You got a question? Anybody got a question on any of that?
Oh, hell yeah, we got questions.
Oh, man. Shoot.
So let's start here with Koepka being the first person to kind of try to step away.
Yeah.
Is he the drip that starts the creation of the Grand Canyon?
Potentially. Yeah.
Okay.
From both sides. I think, Minute Rider, I think the PGA Tour is where it looked like they were going to have to merge a year ago,
right?
8 months ago, where the pendulum's starting to swing back. And I think they're just going to wait this thing out as long as they can. It's just, how do they make it fair to the long-standing golfers that waited out and didn't, go to live when they could have? Like, they didn't get the big, Koepka got like $60 million. You know what I mean? To leave.
I think there has to be a fine. I think there has to be a fine or some kind of fee to come back in, and that fine either gets, how certain places have the kitty, or you have what's the thing in baseball? I can't think of the name of it.
Kind of like create like a progressive slot machine where each guy puts the money in and it builds a pot for everybody else on the tour.
Yeah, something like that. Or it's like a kitty where the money comes in of the fine money and it gets dispersed back out to the other players that didn't make the jump. But they got to reward the players for staying and reward their loyalty. And then they also have to make an example out of Koepka because he's the first one to try to come back. And I'm not meaning it in a punitive sense, but I think it has to be done because you got to reward the players that stayed.
So here's where it gets tricky, because so many guys defected, like say in the best golfer in the world, say from 15 to 40. That's really where a lot of the live guys, a lot of the world rank. So a guy that was 60th or 50th moved up in the rankings pretty quickly because that competition left the tour. So some guys did benefit, to be honest. They qualified. Take my guy Danny McCarthy. I talked about him a lot, right? He got into some tournaments and he made the most of it, but he wouldn't even have got that opportunity necessarily, but because they were spots. That makes sense. So I'm more concerned about, the guys that already have plenty of money, the Rorys, the Shane Lowrys, like some of these guys that could have jumped and took the huge contract and didn't. But I think, it'll work out for them in the end, I think.
And then the second question I have is, how does this transition affect people's eligibility for the majors?
So your eligibility for the majors doesn't change. You're either eligible or you're not. Like you're not. You either have to be qualified for these tournaments by winning the tournament previously. So like if you win the Masters, obviously you can play the Masters. That's why you see Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, all these guys out there playing. Like if you win a U.S. Open, you pretty much can play in the next 4 majors for 5 years, and you can play in the U.S. Open for 10 more years. You're exempt. Okay. And then some tournaments, it's the top 50 in the world automatically get into the major, or sometimes it's 70 or 80. It just depends on what particular major you want to talk about. So there's a couple different ways you can earn your entry into the major tournaments. Like Brooks Koepka, he just 3 years ago, he won a major. So he's kind of good. He just needs to have some good showings and accumulate some world golf rankings, and he'll eventually just be back on the tour like everybody else.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
KG.
Anything?
I wonder. I wonder. Like Midnight Rider said, is this going to be the drip that turns to the Grand Canyon? But it's like, I never like Live to start. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I was like, okay, you're coming in. It kind of remind me of like USFL type thing, where you're trying to come in and take on the big boys. And it's just like, why? But when you throw money at somebody, they're going to take the money. But
yeah,
I would love to see how this plays out.
They're really promoting that team golf. You know, they got these quirky names like Smash and Crushers, and it just has never felt right to me. And I watched it, and I was like, I'm going to make myself watch this, and I'm going to yield my own opinion. The graphics are kind of clumsy. You know, it's sort of off the cuff. They got David Faraday to go over there, who's, a good commentator, but he's also kind of quirky and odd in his own, he went from being a piece of the broadcast with CBS to being like the main thing, and it was like too much,
Yeah, I didn't like him. That's the Soviet guy with the, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like, I don't need a whole set. I don't need an hour Rodney Dangerfield. I just need his 8 minutes of his best stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's, for me, David Faraday was kind of fell in that lane for me. So we'll see. That team thing just it's weird. I don't.
So let's transition from a bad team thing to a good team thing. Let's talk about the golf league that shows up. I think it starts this week?
No, it started Sunday. So TGL stands for Tomorrow Golf League. This is the indoor simulator golf league, stadium golf inside that really is the brainchild of Tiger and Rory McIlroy. So down there in Florida, they have the SoFi Center, and there's a indoor stadium like golf facility with a simulator with 100-foot, I think 120-foot screen,
right?
Gigantic screen that they hit into. So yeah, the league consists of 6 teams. There's 4 players on a team, and then 3 are active for game days, if that makes sense. So, I think they made some improvements. Atlanta Drive won the championship last year. They played Sunday against New York Golf Club. I love New York's team. They've got Fitzpatrick and Schauffele. And who else does New York have? Fitzpatrick, Schauffele, and others. So, yeah, the issue I had with TGL was the product was good. Matthew Berry, ESPN, and Scott Van Pelt run the show. Like, it's a cool product. But Sunday at 3:00, I mean, you got to do better. I mean, call me. I can help you pick a better time slot than that. I mean, right in the middle of Sunday football, you're not going to really, really move the needle a whole lot. But they made improvements to it. Some of the viewers wanted more analytics, like how fast are they swinging? How far is the ball going? How fast is the ball traveling in the air? Those sort of metrics, if you will, that nerds that love golf are kind of after. So there's one recommendation I would have, like, the banter back and forth is cool, but only the guys with the personality can shine through and make it fun, because it's golf with a shot clock. You know what I mean? So you can't just sit around and take your time and think about it and throw the grass up in the air and check the wind. Like, you got 40 seconds, you got to hit. Let's go. So that's cool. That keeps you, sort of engaged as a viewer. But I'd like to see these teams have a manager, either an older golfer or a personality. You know what I mean? as a manager, like someone that loves golf, a Barkley or Mark Wahlberg. You guys mentioned him earlier, like somebody like that would help keep it going. Because you could throw hammers and double down and do different things within the match, that would make it more interesting and more sort of friendly to the viewer, make it a little bit more entertaining. So, yeah, I think the next match is Friday. And Rory McIlroy's team, it's called Boston Common. Him, Keegan Bradley, and Adam Scott are on that team. So I think that's Friday at 7 this coming week. So,
okay.
Yes.
Is there a team you perceive as the favorite in this?
I mean, I got the players, I got the teams here. I would tell you who's probably the least favorite, and that's Jupiter Golf Links. That's Tiger's team. Tiger, Max Homa, and Tom Kim. They're probably one of the more entertaining teams, even though Tiger's injured right now. But Kevin Kinsler, I don't know if he's a commentator, and he's also on tour, plays some events. He's also on that team. LA Golf Club is Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose, and Morikawa. Kind of hard not to like. It's hard. It's hard to beat that. The Bay is Wyndham Clark, Oberg, and Shane Lowry. So they got a lot of the right. Atlanta's Cantlay and Thomas. They've got the right players in this. I would say. A good mix of international dudes and American folks. It's really all the guys that are living in Florida in the off season. It's really kind of what you got here. But it's really cool. It's really cool. It's really different. Again, if you think golf is slow paced, and it's just like, no, like it's going, and that's probably the coolest thing.
All right. So question is, correspondent, what are your thoughts on long drive competitions that they show on FS1 and Fox Sports Plus? Are you a big long drive fan? You seem like a guy that you like KG. You might be more of a traditionalist and like the way the game is played. No,
I mean, I'm entertained by him. I just can't sit there and just watch it over and over again. There's this Martin Borgmeier guy. He's a German dude. He hit the ball 400 and some yards. So whenever I see him, he kind of catches my eye. He does a lot of YouTube collab work with Bryson DeChambeau, their boys. So they do a lot of creative games and events and stuff because he's not that good of a golfer, but he can hit it far. So Bryson's trying to keep him on the course. You know what I mean? Because of course, when you hit the ball that far, it's hard to, tune them down a little bit. So yeah, I think they're entertaining. There's a place for it, obviously. And there's some pretty decent prize money guys can win in those things. But most of them are just one trick ponies. They're not really rounded golfers. To be that good and focus on that, you don't have touch around the greens. You're not a great putter, more than likely, if you're just smashing golf balls like a meathead, on a daily basis. I love the question, though. It's a good one.
Thanks. I appreciate you calling me a meathead. What else you got, KG?
Josh checking in. What's happening, Josh? How you feeling? Highly opinionated. Anthony said, I'm surprised. I thought Brooks Koepka would lead the team from Florida because isn't he from the West Palm Beach area?
Yeah, I believe he's a Florida guy, but I don't.
Because his affiliation, right?
What, say again?
Because he's affiliated with Live, he can't really be in the TGL, right?
I don't think there's any rules behind that, but I think he's kind of shunned. You know, you got to realize Tiger and Rory have already been up on the, on the ledger, looking down at everybody, saying, "Look, we're going to protect the PGA Tour. This is the traditional format, to use your word. This is the way competitive golf is meant to be played. You go out there, make the cut, and you earn a paycheck, right? You don't get paid up front to play golf. That's not how we do things here. Right or wrong, that's been their approach, and the way they see the game. So until then, we'll see. But I think this is a good first step for Brooks. Brooks, real quick, back to Brooks. I think Brooks took the money I don't think he ever wanted to go there. He was battling some pretty bad wrist injuries there for a while. And I think he was wondering if he was ever going to heal 100%. And he's like, hey, let me take this bag. Well, I can get this bag. And he also brought his brother along, who's not very good at golf either, to initially be a part of his team. And I think that was part of it too. He could spend time with his brother. So, you know, money makes you do things. And I think he was just never really comfortable over there. Probably never didn't like the world travel that it requires. And he saw it out with this fourth day that they've added, and he's trying to slip out the side door. Period. The end.
Is his brother's name Tianis Kepka?
No, I don't remember his name, but it should be. Right. It should be. Actually, I think Tianis is better relative. He's got a ring.
He does. He does. All right. Well, we're going to switch some things around. We're going to take a break, come back, and we're going to break down this college football playoffs. We got 4 games of preview, so we're going to take a break, come back, and knock that out. So stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Tuesday Night Flight. This is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. You've been enjoying so far golf talk, NASCAR talk. Now think about that. Most times you come to a podcast, you waiting for the football, you waiting for the basketball. Like we keep telling y'all, we take you on a flight around the sports world. We ain't limiting this flight. We ain't just going direct to Cancun. We're going to take you all around the world of sports before we get you to Cancun. We're going to have some connecting flights. And you just got to deal with it. But that's what we do, because we're going to give you every part of the sports world, not just a limited point of view. And if you want limited perspective and you want me to be on here talking about, I apologize and I don't understand, and this is my... No, we're not doing that. We're a sports show. We talk sports. We make things happen here. It's the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's the Tuesday Night Flight, where we give you knowledge. And if you walk away from our show and you don't learn something, then that's our fault, but it's also because you're not listening. But with that being said, I'm going to turn this over to the big guy, KG.
All right. So we got games coming up on Thursday, which is New Year's Day. This right here.
You got Thursday Eve. You got Wednesday.
We got a game Wednesday too?
Yeah, you got the first game Wednesday at like 7:30. I think it's Miami and Ohio State is the first game.
You're absolutely right. Miami and Ohio State are the first game, and I'm starting with the wrong game. So Miami and Ohio State is the first game. I'm looking at the lines, and Ohio State's a 9.5-point favorite. Over under is 41.5. So start with the correspondent, go to the Midnight Rider, see what the gentleman Jack picked, and then I'll close this thing out.
High level for me. I mean, I've got Ohio State in the bracket in the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network bracket challenge. So I'm riding with them. I think they have a coaching advantage. I think they have a talent overall roster advantage. I think Ohio State beats Miami pretty significantly. I'm thinking, let's call it 27-13 Buckeyes. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I like this ball game. I said it early on Unapologetic, but I just don't believe in Carson Beck. I think Miami's young running back Fletcher is going to fall victim to Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. I think they're going to swallow him up in this ball game. In the run game, that probably deserves a pause. And I think this is going to be an issue for Miami, is because I don't think Carson Beck is good enough to exploit Ohio State's defense. So I have this at 20-10 Ohio State, and I think the over under is like 39 or 40. So I would take the under in this ball game.
41.5 at right now.
So yeah, give me Ohio State. I'm taking the 9.5 because I think it's gonna be 20-10. I think it's gonna be a 10-point ball game. You flush out that 10 points however you want to, but it's gonna be under the number on the ledger.
Yeah, 27-13. I got it at 40, so that would be an under as well.
Yep.
All right. Let me move you gentlemen over there and give you the gentleman Jack's pick.
All right, fellas, let me give you my thoughts on this New Year's Eve college football playoff bowl game. AT&T Stadium, the Cotton Bowl, Jerry's World. You can call it what you want. We got Miami Hurricanes coming in against Ohio State Buckeyes. 10-3 Miami, the Buckeyes undefeated, as everybody knows. Miami beat Texas A&M to get into this spot. So OSU well rested. Julian Sand, 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Nice numbers for the seasoned young man. Running back Bo Jackson, he's been tearing it up for Ohio State. 1,000-yard rusher on this season. And then you got arguably one of the best wide receivers in the country in Jeremiah Smith. He makes Julian Sand look good on some passes that aren't so good, in my opinion. Carson Beck over here at Miami, man, but you got to look at that running back, Mark Fletcher. He had a hell of a game against Texas A&M. I want to say it was somewhere around $170 that he threw down. And then you got All-Americans on the defensive side for Miami. This game is going to be won in the trenches. I definitely think so. Reuben Bain, All-American for Miami. 3 sacks against Texas A&M. And then you got D-back Keontae Scott, 2 sacks against Texas A&M. So that Miami defense is going to be flying all over the field. I got Miami in the upset in this one, fellas. So I'll take Miami. They're going to win it by 3. Let's go with that.
That's the gentleman Jack taking Miami to win by 3. If I got to choose, and I'm going to take my fandom out of this, and I'm going to call it, give me Ohio State. And it was an article going around talking about Ryan Day quite possibly being the greatest college coach because look at the winning success he had. He hasn't had enough time to he hasn't had enough time to be considered the greatest coach because you talking about putting him over Bear Bryant, Lou Holtz, even Saban, Joe Paterno. That's a lot of people he's trying to leapfrog to be the greatest coach of all time. And what he has, 2 chips?
Brian Day?
You got one, doesn't he?
Or one. One. That was last year.
Yeah, uno. There's no dos. There's definitely no trace.
I think it might be a dose after this year.
I think that's the best part about it.
A couple of comments on this game. Anthony said, question for all of you. Do you guys agree with the national media that Miami is a make-a-wish team that didn't even deserve to be in the college football playoff? I'm not touching that. I leave that to you, gentlemen.
Here we go. I've never seen a man so like your team made it. You're not a make-a-wish. You made it. I don't know what we're arguing about here. You have hope. You have opportunity. Your question is, can your quarterback man up and put the ponies on the table and actually make a difference in this ball game? It's not about y'all being a make-a-wish and we trying to get you in the 4th quarter so you can hit a jump shot from the corner so you can get 3 points. You know what I'm saying? You're not the kid with the score that used to do the score or the team mascot, the team manager that we trying to get points for. I mean, you belong here because they picked to put you here. So now you got to put up or shut up. I mean, you just got to hope that you're not on the Carson Beck B side and you get his worst performance. You want him on the A side with all the hits. You know what I'm saying? You want him with the Darling Nickies, the beautiful ones, Purple Rain. You want him on that side of the CD. That's all I got.
That was that was I can't do much better than that. I mean that was a good answer. They're in, right? So let them do their thing. I mean, I don't think you can push back now or blame them for anything. They won the first round and they're still,
And they got
they're still out there. So it's not their fault. They're still playing at this point. So can't hold them back.
Now, I'm going to say this, and I want to hope that I'm right. If I'm not mistaken, there's been some great B-sides in history. If I'm not mistaken, Mickey's Monkey was a B-side to Go Into a Go-Go by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. So, and I think Mickey's Monkey is a pretty goddamn good song.
You're doing too much with the B-side. You got to understand what I'm saying. When I say the B-side ain't for the casuals. The B-side is for the fanatics. All right? So when I talk about the Carson Beck A-side and the B-side, it's the side that if you're not a fanatic, you're not going to listen to it. If you're not in the music, most people don't flip their CD over.
Well, that's true.
But because you know what it is? Because you're initiated. You know what I'm saying? You get the B-side of a CD, but everybody don't get that. Everybody not scrummaging on the B-side of the Cisco CD and finding Incomplete and playing that till it stops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you, brother.
I'm with you. Next question. Anthony said, do you trust Ohio State's offensive line to even block Miami's defensive line?
Yes. Trust is a 5-letter word. We got 5 linemen to block in front of them.
Especially
I think this is the one matchup that Ohio State's, that Miami's offensive and defensive line doesn't have a true advantage. I think it's an equal. And I don't mean to cut you off, Keith, but something that you finish this up.
No, I was just going to make a quick. I mean, Ohio State has a great coaching staff. They're going to have them coached up, and with the extra time to prepare, I think they'll be ready.
We're talking about Matt Patricia. And as long as he's not coaching the Detroit Lions, we're talking about a good football coach.
And Maddie says both teams have great D. I think Ohio State pulls away late 20-10. I don't think it's going to be that close. If I didn't give a score, I think it's Ohio State's going to run them off the field. I'm going to say 45-7.
Ooh.
Like,
ooh. Anthony might not talk to you no more if that happens.
And it's not, that's me being.
Hold on. Time out. I got to do the qualifier again. This isn't, I need you to be KG.
Yes. The
fandom is out the window. As a professional, not the Notre Dame fan.
Fandom is out the window because this is like the correspondent said, they're going to be coached up very, very good. You have, and this team had pro players on their team last year. Like you got guys that are going to be first, second round picks that are going to have long careers in the pros. That's what Ohio State does. Miami does not have that type of talent.
No. I gotta disagree with you there because you got Bain on one side and the kid on the other side. I can't think of his name. I know Anthony's gonna drop his name in the comments. I think it's like Madrosi or something like that. That kid, he might not be a first round talent, but I think he's a 3rd or 4th round talent, and I think he can make an impact because he dominated. However they played last week, and I'm sorry that team is just not in my head right now. So Miami's Texas A&M. There you go, Messidor. Messidor is good enough to make an impact. So I'm not discounting their line because of like who they have or who they don't have. I'm just thinking that I think Ohio State is well prepared to face those type of pass rushers, if that makes sense.
So you're saying that they can double team Bain, they can't double team both of them. So
and I don't think they will. I don't think Ohio State is going to have the need to, because I think they feel confident enough in their front that they can go 1-on-1. And then
they're chipping Bain.
Definitely chipping Bain. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Josh
Bain's ribs may not be the same.
Agreed. Josh says Miami defense will keep them in the game. Carson Beck will be the better QB on the field and make no mistakes. Give me the Miami O-line and D-line will need to be the best units on the field.
Yeah, he's been Team Anthony all day today.
And Anthony said that's not him saying that. That's the national media.
Well, we don't care what the national media says. Hold on. Time out. Let's stop this. Let's not peruse down this aisle of wilderness condolences in the forays of bullshit. We don't care what the national media says. There are 3 guys on this show, and if it's 4 guys, the 4th guy. All right, we believe in what we say. We don't care what the national media says. So, Anthony, when you talk to us, you're talking to us, and you can leave the national media stuff out on the side of the road, and you get picked up on Friday, like with all the other trash. But nah, we here. So you gonna talk to us? Talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Don't spoon feed us what the national media says. When that airplane come flying in, we gonna smack that out the way and be like, nah, we don't want that.
I think Stephen A. said it best. I'm here to tell you, we don't care. Next up, we're going to the Orange Bowl down in Florida. Number 5, Oregon versus number 4, Texas Tech. Oregon is a 2.5-point favorite. Over under is 51.5. Correspondent, take it away.
This is my favorite game on the slate this week for me. You know, I've come around on Dan Lanning some. You know, I thought he was kind of pompous and full of himself. Now I can see it. I can see what his players are buying into. He's got a good thing going. I think he's had opportunities to maybe go other places, and he feels like he wants to, which I appreciate. He's going to create cement his own legacy there at Oregon. At least that's what it seems like from here. But I think for me, this game's going to be big plays and or turnovers. Who turns the ball over and who can make a couple big plays. This is a Styles makes fight, kind of thing. I like Moore. I like Dante Moore a lot. I think he'll do enough to get the job done here. What's the spread? 51.5?
Yeah, 51.5 on this one.
And Oregon's favorite by 2. Yeah, I mean, I like Oregon in the cover for me. I think they'll make enough big plays, and Moore will just make one less mistake than Morton. Let's call it 31-24. 31-24 Ducks. Midnight Rider.
I think this is the scoring game, but I want to give you a shout out because you said something. What was the lingo you used early on? Oh, you said Styles make fights. That's how I know you part of the network right there, because that's our lingo. That's what we talk about. Styles make fights, baby. And in this world where Styles make fights, I think something's got to win. And I think it comes down to Oregon's offensive line versus Texas Tech defensive line. And this is where this ball game gets settled. We can put the women and children to sleep, and we can go hunting for dinner. Because I think if Dante Moore has a good ball game, Texas Tech ends up on the wrong side of this. And I think if Texas Tech defense decides to impact and put its will on and shut down the run game and make Oregon one-dimensional, Texas Tech wins this. And I say all of this to tell you that I still believe that I think Texas Tech is the better team when we end this, but it's going to be a close ball game. I don't know what the numbers are. I can't remember, but I got Texas Tech to win, but I think it's going to be late and it's going to be a field goal. But I think Dante Moore does enough that he surpasses Mendoza as the top pick because he's going to make some throws in this ball game. He's going to have to show that he belongs. So he going to have to let them understand that, he believes he can fly. He believes he can touch the sky. You can think about it every night and day, but Dante Moore has to find a way to get this team competitive and stay involved in this ball game. And I think he becomes the number 1 pick overall over Francisco Mendoza.
All right.
Even though he loses this performance.
toss it over to the gentleman.
Real quick, minute.
Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm going to give you my take on the Oregon-Texas Tech matchup.
Go ahead, Keith.
Oregon, Dante Moore, everybody know he's been crispy and clean all year long. He's only been sacked 12 times, so give that to that Oregon offensive line. I think they're going to meet their match today with this vicious Texas Tech defense. Over. Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm going to give you my take on the Oregon-Texas Tech matchup. Oregon, Dante Moore, everybody know he's been crispy and clean all year long. He's only been sacked 12 times, so give that to that Oregon offensive line. I think they're going to meet their match today with this vicious Texas Tech defense. Over to Oregon, running back Noah Whittington, he can break anything, man. So he hits the holes fast, and he's trying to cause damage. Once he gets through, he's something. And Jordan Davison, he's the touchdown machine for this Oregon team. He's already got 13 rushing touchdowns, man. That's a pretty big number. They like the tight ends in the red zone there at Oregon. Several tight ends can get really open in the red zone. They get many TDs for their tight ends. But over at Texas Tech quarterback Behern Morton, he's just been the undercover QB this year, in my opinion. But he also has running back Cameron Dickey. He's a 1,100-yard rusher with total of 16 touchdowns, 14 rushing, 2 receiving for Mr. Dickey. At wide receiver, Caleb Douglas. You can always find him across the middle, on the outs, in the flat. He's a wide receiver that can run many routes. So what I think is going to make a difference in this matchup is the All-Americans on Texas Tech defense. Their linebacker core is sick. David Bailey is leading this crew with 13.5 sacks. And then you got that cat Romello Height with 9 sacks. And as a team, they got 16 interceptions. So this team, Texas Tech, is just swarming, man. I look for Texas Tech to beat Oregon. Is this my second upset? I'm not sure. But I look for Texas Tech to beat Oregon in this matchup. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, words from the gentleman Jack. I think the correspondent had something he was about to say before we moved on to Jack.
No, I just wondered if you had a Dante Moore comp. Like, I know we're going to get into the draft and stuff. It's just something that popped in my head because he's a different kind of player, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to it if you had a first blush on that.
I don't yet.
Okay. All right.
I don't yet.
Fair enough.
First of all, my apologies to the correspondent there. So I didn't mean to cut you off there, so I apologize.
No, you're good, man. All good.
I think we got Jack in the hallway.
Yeah,
filming a thriller video or something.
We're gonna jump to him for on the road. He's on a field trip. But if I gotta pick this game, the Orange Bowl is where a lot of magic happens, and a lot of great games have happened at the Orange Bowl, or in the Orange Bowl. I won't say at the Orange Bowl because it's played at Hard Rock Stadium now. Give me Texas Tech 31, Oregon 30. Ooh, triple overtime.
Ooh.
We have a bomb burner of a game.
You love that bullshit overtime.
I do. I think it's the best overtime in sports.
It's not what you like about it. It's just I just hate overtime in college football. It's a midnight rider thing. I apologize in advance. Go ahead and go to the whirling dervish that is Jack Carr.
What?
On the road. See what he got here.
What you say, Midnight Rider? How you doing? Correspondent, big guy. How y'all?
Doing good. Where you at? You on a field trip?
Yeah. What's up, Midnight Rider?
I'm good, man. Just stay still and stop moving.
I can't. I'm in the hallway. It's too loud in the gym. I was hoping it's gonna be halftime. Man, they got scouts and everybody up here to watch this matchup between Meade and Severn High School. Coach Glick's team is fire. The Meade Mustangs, man, he got a couple studs, and I got some interviews with those two guys I'm going to share tonight. So It's been a great trip up here. This school is incredible. Any kid should be honored to attend Meade High School. What the Army has put into this school is tremendous. I mean, every sports team has their own locker room here, y'all. It's not field hockey has to share with volleyball or wrestling has to share. Nah, they all got their own locker rooms. This is an amazing school. Gosh, I just was blown away by the tour Coach Glick took me on. I can bring y'all in real quick and we'll see what the score is real quick. There you go.
This is the most
24-22 halftime. 24-22 halftime, y'all.
All right, who's winning?
Coach Glick. Meade Mustangs are up on Severn by 2. Meade had been up as much as 11. So since I've been out here with you guys, Severn made a little bit of a run. And Severn is much bigger than Meade. But Meade's quickness and hustle is just helping. I mean, they got so many steals already in just the first half. So I can't wait till we all come out to some of these basketball games as a group, man. This is fun. This is really fun. I'm an old gym rat. I love being in the gym. I love the smell of a gym. So, yeah, I've been enjoying myself up here today, guys. And a couple Coach Devon's coaches have come up to me. They recognize us from the podcast network. And this is the second event that I've been to in a row where we got people coming out of stands recognizing Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. So that's kudos to all of us. So we're just going to keep rolling, right, baby? We everywhere, baby.
All right, man. All right, Jack.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
Good rest of your show. I'll touch back in and let y'all know who won.
All right, now.
All right,
All right,
man. Check in. Peace.
Jack looking like Geraldo, looking for Al Capone's vault. Right
What? I remember that. The black shirt with the
That's what I kept thinking of. I don't know why, but maybe it was just like the camera was kind of jumping around and moving around. He's like, I'm in the vault. I'm down here. Anyway, I'm sorry. Got us off track.
Oh, man. All right. Jumping back into the college basketball. College football. College football playoff. I'm all off. Number 9 Alabama versus number 1 Indiana, and the granddaddy of them all is what they like to call it, the Rose Bowl out in Pasadena, California. Indiana's a 7.5-point favorite. Over under is 47.5. Correspondent, take it away.
I was listening to Drive Time earlier, and they mentioned Keith Jackson. That just brought me back. Like you can't hear the intro to the Rose Bowl without that legendary voice kind of bringing it in. Makes it all come together for you. So yeah, I mean, if I cared about a game the least, it'd probably be this one. I think Alabama's run here for me comes to an end. Selfishly, I want 1 and 2. That's what I think it'll ultimately end up being, Indiana and Ohio State. So I think the Hoosiers roll here pretty good. Got a lot of momentum coming in. They had extra time to prepare. So I like Indy. What's the over? What's the line?
47.5.
Oh, I think this will be under. I think it'll be 23-16. I like Indiana to win. I think the score is really not that close, but as Alabama always seems to do, they do seem to be there kind of right at the end with a chance to win. But I don't think the score is indicative of how the game was ultimately played. So 23-16 Hoosiers. Midnight Rider?
I'm going to make mine short and sweet. 27-17. I think Indiana wins this. I think Alabama's failure to establish a running game and be able to run the football is going to be their death knell. I don't know who's their running back. I don't think in the world knows who their running back is. And I think Indiana has played good enough defense all year long that they will suffocate this run game. They'll score enough with their guys and make a difference. And they'll leave Alabama and Kalen DeBoer staring at the man in the mirror, trying to figure out if they got to change their ways. KG.
All right. Throw this at Jack.
All right, now, so here we are to the Alabama-Indiana matchup. You know, I've been loving on some Indiana for a couple years now. Coach Signetti, Coach Sig as they call him, he gonna pound the rock. I think he's gonna pound the ball. Mendoza, he can run the ball, he can throw the ball. He's got 33 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, and he's got 6 rushing touchdowns for Mendoza. So he's really crafty with his feet as well as his arms. So look for Roman Hemby. He's closing in on 1,000 yards. And then wide receiver Omar Cooper. Both of those can be right there at Mendoza's disposal to try to take a shot at this Alabama defense. Alabama's going to be out there with Ty Simpson. I feel Alabama got outplayed by Oklahoma. They definitely did on paper. Alabama got some breaks. Running back Jam Miller, he's been a key to the past couple victories for Alabama. Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver, I like that cat. And then you got cornerback Bray Hubbard. He's got 4 interceptions, 8 pass defenses. But I just think that the defense over at Indiana and that beefy offense, because they got some big boys on the offensive line at Indiana. But Elijah Hardy, linebacker, Indiana, and Isaiah Jones, linebacker, Indiana. 8 sacks for Hardy, 7 sacks for Jones. They sacking machines. I think Indiana's going to get Bama in this game, so give JC Indiana in this one.
Let's go, Gentleman Jack, again with another prediction, another update, again from the road, baby, because nobody's more dedicated to the system and the way we do things here on the Tuesday night flight than the Gentleman Jack. KG, take it away, man. Got one more game to go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make it quick too. Alabama don't have enough to keep up with the Heisman Trophy winner at Indiana. Indiana takes this one. It won't be massive, but I'm gonna say 24-16. It's going to be a late surge, but it's not going to be enough to win it. So 24-16 Indiana. Next up, probably one of my favorite bowl games of all time is, yes, sir.
No, let me go first.
Okay. This is probably one of my favorite bowl games of all time, and that's the Sugar Bowl. I've always loved the Sugar Bowl. So you got number 6 Ole Miss versus number 3 Georgia. Midnight Rider. Take it away.
No, this is the bowl game that everybody's been waiting for. The game that, they talk about the Kiffin effect, and we talk about Georgia's defense that has greatly improved since this ball game happened the first time. First time this ball game happened, Ole Miss scored on the first 5 possessions and then took a nap in the middle of the ball game and then tried to close out, and they just couldn't get right after that. The Georgia tight end, I can't think of the young man's name, but I think he had 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns in this ball game. I think this is going to be interesting. I think we figure out what the Kiffin effect is, and does Kiffin mean that much in this process? But I think Georgia, because their defense has improved throughout the course of the last stretch of the season, I think Georgia can shut down certain things. And my man Trinidad Chambly, as I call him, I know his name is Chambliss, but for me it's Chambly, because you can't have a name that fancy and not put the French on it. I think he plays a great game, but I think Georgia just overwhelms them with their defense and the running game. So give me Georgia to win this. I don't know what the number is. I think this is going to be an over for sure, because I think the offenses will play. But I think Georgia's defense is stout enough to make a stop late. Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, so for me, I think the word I'm looking forward to this game as well, KG. The word I'm going to use for this game is redemption, right? So if you think about Georgia, they lost in the Sugar Bowl last year to Notre Dame, didn't they? Redemption, right? Ole Miss, their only loss of the year was to Georgia earlier in the year. Redemption. And then third, it's just I love the redemption mindset and approach that the whole student body down at Ole Miss has had around Pete Golding. You know what I mean? It's like, man, are they supporting this dude? Something fierce. So it's something to see. I don't know if it's enough to win. I think they're going to, I'm going to kind of go with my heart more than my mind because I really am rooting for Ole Miss pretty hard. But I like them to make some sort of crazy theatrical play or turnover at the end of the game and end up winning this game 30-21. So there's your upset. 30-21, Ole Miss.
I like that. So throw this over to the gentleman Jack for his picks on this final game.
Hey, what's happening? This here is going to be another matchup for the college football playoffs, but what I see an SEC matchup of two strong Southeastern Conference teams. You got the Ole Miss Rebels going against the Georgia Bulldogs. Go Dogs. And Ole Miss in the first round of the playoffs, they were like, no Kiffin, no problem. They went ahead and just rolled on, easily defeated the Tulane Green Wave 41-10. So, like I said, no Kiffin, no problem so far for Ole Miss. Chambliss ran for 2 touchdowns, threw another. Keelan Lacey, man, that boy, he's a sophomore. He's sweet as silk, boy. Almost 1,400 yards and 21 freaking touchdowns for the young man. I dig it. They got a wide receiver, Dezon Stribling. He's a great target all over the field. Wyatt Williams, you got to watch him. He's a safety that likes to roam for Ole Miss. But Georgia, man, they just big, beefy offense. You got Gunnar Stockton, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions with 8 rushing touchdowns for the QB. Running back Nate Frazier, man, you can't say but enough good things about Nate Frazier. He averages 5.4 yards per attempt, so that's really going to help. Zachariah Branch, he's Stockton's go-to guy as far as receivers go, but I think Georgia's going to run the hell out of the ball in this game. Cornerback Ellis Robinson, he's 4 interceptions for the freshman. So I really do. I think Georgia's defense is going to prevail, and I think Georgia's going to run the heck out of the ball against this Ole Miss team. Georgia to win. Georgia by 10. All right, now.
Yeah, guys, one thing I forgot to mention is I think Colby Young's going to be back for Georgia. That doesn't bode well for me picking the Rebels, but he's an elite wide receiver. He's going to be playing on Sundays in some capacity, I think. So them getting him back could be a little bit of an X factor in this game as well. So keep your eyes out for that.
As much as I would love to see Ole Miss take this game, it's not going to happen. I think this is going to be another true shootout, Sugar Bowl style, but it's going to be some excitement. So let's call it 34-30. Georgia has to hold on for the win. Last second surge. So, gents, you want to go all gas, no brakes, and just keep rolling into the recap of the nickel?
No, let's take a quick break and then run into the nickel. And we don't forget we got to preview the 2 Saturday games on coming up this weekend.
Jeez,
that's why I'm here, baby. So,
I forgot about that.
So let's go. Hurry up, offense through the nickel, and then try to get out on a good time.
All right. So hang tight. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, the towel tells the truth, baby. It's the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's the Tuesday Night Flight. We take you around the sports world, one sport at a time, one game at a time, one league at a time. We're going to start off, if you haven't been paying attention, we started you off with some golf. We're going to hit you off with some Brooks Koepka news. We're going to giving you the college football playoffs. Now we're about to recap the nickel from over the weekend. And then we're going to take you into the lead-in for this weekend's games on Saturday. The 2 games, the Seattle Seahawks and 49ers and the Carolina Panthers and the Buccaneers. And then we're going to drop you off because then we got to land because this plane about to run out of gas. But we got to get you to the ground, put all things on the ground, put your seatbelts up, and send you on to the rest of your week. And then we'll catch up with you later on. Sunday morning, Sunday rise. It's no better way to start your week off, right?
Hey, start your year off.
With that being said, let me turn the show over to the host, the big guy KG.
I got excited. Start your year off right with us. All right. We're going to throw 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to go through this. So, Buccaneers lose to the Dolphins. Could have wrapped up the division. Did not take care of business. Lose to the Dolphins 20-17. Baker Mayfield 33 of 44, 346, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Bucky Irvin, an anemic 9 carries, 19 yards. Jalen McMillan had 7 receptions for 114 yards. For the Dolphins, Quinn Ewers 14 of 22, 2 touchdowns and 172 yards. Devon Achane, 18 carries, 83 yards. And Theo Wees Jr., 1 catch, 63 yards. 5 minutes on the clock. Correspondent, take it away.
There's some bad football in this game. I mean, if you're Todd Bowles, I know you got a vote of confidence a little bit earlier in the year. I would make sure you got your realtor's phone number in your phone because I think you're gonna need it, right? Because this is unacceptable. I know Baker's been banged up some, but the way he played was bad. Even he had Evans out there, and Mbuka's dropping passes. He's kind of regressed here, guys. Anybody talking about it, but the last 6 weeks of the year, he's been on the side of some milk cartons for sure, and he's been a little banged up as well. But I think he should bounce back, but he hasn't finished strong as well. And Waddle got banged up in this game too. If you're looking at it from the Dolphin side, so this was a turd for Tampa Bay. They're in big trouble. If they may back into this division somehow, some way, obviously by winning. I heard a scenario where they could. The Panthers could. Is it the Panthers that could lose this weekend and still by Atlanta strength of schedule or something still kind of back into it? So. This is wild. This reminds me of the NFC East a few years back when the then football team under Ron Rivera was 7-9-1, whatever it was, and won the division. So yeah, bad football. Tampa deserved to lose and they lost. Todd Bowles, if I'm you, check your phone.
Only reason I don't believe Todd Bowles is, and I've said before, the last couple of weeks because I've listened to his press conference and I said, Todd Bowles is on the hot seat, but I don't know if he actually is just because of his past performances, winning the division the last three seasons, period. So that might be his saving grace. But yeah, there's the funky thing where even if Tampa Bay wins, but Atlanta wins, Carolina still wins the division. That's that whole tiebreaker, and because it's a 3-team tiebreaker. Comes down to like your division record or conference record, something like that. So, but that's too much math for me, and I don't do math because I was told that there would be no math on the show besides when KG does it. But yeah, from this ball game, shout out to my man Quinn Ewers. I know it wasn't pretty, but you got a W when your first starts, so gotta give you love on that. Go ahead, KG.
Yeah, two things. Bowles lost the home playoff game. He was, favorite to win against Commanders. Jay Daniels went and got the job done with the doink, field goal. But you got to start thinking about the guy in Jacksonville and the guy in Carolina that's turning. Those are all offensive coaches, right? In Tampa that have gotten out the building. Almost like looking back 10 years ago, 12 years ago with Washington. McVay, Shanahan. LaFleur. You just can't keep letting these. It's an offensive game these days, and I think you need a good offensive coach. Bowles would be a great defensive coordinator again. He can dial it up, but I think his days as a head coach are behind him.
Pin, KG, pin.
I guess I'll be quick with it. I said I agree with you, correspondent. Because I said Bowles might be looking for a job anyway, but this wasn't good. This was not good. And if you don't perform on Saturday, I feel sorry for you. So this was just ugly. You should not have lost to this Dolphins team. But now I wonder if the Dolphins are scratching their head and say, "Dang, did we wait too long to start Ewers over Tua? Maybe we could have still been in the AFC race if we would have did this 6 to 8 weeks ago."
No, I think the timing's right for me.
KG, there's one man that has pom-poms with Quinn Ewers' name on them. Maybe even a Quinn Ewers tattoo on his left bicep. Quinn Ewers wasn't saving this ball club. I'm just gonna let you know. This win wasn't brought to you by Quinn Ewers and Quinn Ewers Productions. I'm gonna put it that way.
This offseason with Tua is going to be must-see TV.
Agreed.
What are they going to do?
They gotta move on.
Yeah,
but they gotta figure out how to move on. And I think teams is scared of this moving on, and that's why you get these mid-tier guys with contracts that they shouldn't have. Is because we don't know how to move on, or we are so scared of the chasm that is not having a QB that they won't put their toe in the hot water. They'll rather sit on the side and just watch the water bubble.
Look at the narrative right now. Like Lawrence and Tua both kind of got their second contracts about the same time, and you feel totally different about Lawrence than you do with Tua.
But that's only this year and right now you feel different about Lawrence, because coming into the season,
exactly,
you felt the same. You felt like both of them was both of them was going to bank with the ski mask.
Yeah.
The correspondent said, Josh said the correspondent's a mind reader. I hate Todd Bowles as a head coach. This is the only time he's gotten a chance, because he didn't get a chance in New York, but that's another show for another time.
That's another pin.
Yeah, pin. Now this game right here, 49ers 42, Bears 38. This was the Sunday night game. I think this is the best game of the weekend. Caleb Williams, 25 of 42, 330, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift had 9 carries, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Luther Burden III, 8 receptions, 138 yards, and a touchdown. Brock Purdy, 24-33, 303, 3 touchdowns and a pick, and that pick was a pick 6. You going first on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Caleb Williams showed me what it is to be Caleb Williams. It's the, I don't know if you guys know the theme song to the song The Facts of Life, but it's the good, the bad, but it's the facts of life, right? And that's what he is. He's the good, the bad. Like, there are plays where he makes these most dynamic throws. He's rolling left, flips his hips, throws a 15 to 20 yard out route. I'm like, man, that's dope. And then he comes back and he's rolling right. He's off the wrong foot, and he throws it in the dirt to a wide open receiver 3 times. You got to take the good, you got to take the bad. But the one thing we have is the facts of life, and that's what he is. He's hit or miss, but you got to love him. And I got to love what Kyle Shanahan has done with Brock Purdy. Purdy, he likes the Dougie. I don't know if Colin Cowherd has put his thoughts on him doing the Dougie over John Wall, and if he can win the championship by him Dougieing. But that's old school and that's old content. But I ain't gonna go there. But the 49ers look good, and I think it's because they've built something over the course of time, and they've put enough people in place that believe and fit their system that it makes it work for them. And it's a little bit different from where the Commanders are. Go ahead, take it away, correspondent.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm wondering if Brock Purdy's ever been to the Rose Bar, like John Wall. You know, take your mind off of things, decompress 6 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, I digress. I had to go to bed, so I didn't see this whole game, this entire game. I agree with you with Williams. I mean, he does some incredible things, and then he lets you down. He's got the lowest completion percentage in the league with qualified, attempts. That's not good. But really, I got more of a comment more than anything on this game. I'm wondering what JD5's thinking right now with Nix, May, Williams, all getting their flowers right now, getting love. I hope he's in the lab. I hope he's getting his mind right, getting his body right, ready to go. I'm just wondering, if you can get inside of his head what he's thinking there. I hope he's motivated like hell. But
dude, wait, hold on. You think? Oh my gosh! I'm gonna tell you right now. I know what he's thinking. He's soaking all this in. Every clipping that comes in, every comment, compliment. Like he's got like a book. I don't even know if it's a book. It's like a thing on his phone, and like the AI is reading it to him about how Drake May's the MVP of this year and blah blah blah. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm scared for the league when because next year he gonna be on one, and if he has the weapons, man, dude, I'm gonna tell you, KG, can I go off real quick? I'm gonna do this in 2 minutes. The competitive me when the Lakers lost to Detroit in 2004, I went on a lifting spree like I was Kobe Bryant and I was playing the Pistons the next year. Like I had this summer of I'm working. We gonna be better. And like my buddy was like, yo, dog, you don't play for the Lakers, right? I was like, yeah, but we lost to Detroit, and it's like this fuel that I'm living off of. So if you can take a dude that doesn't even play for a team, watching somebody doing this, and then now you got a guy that plays for a team and watching his peers, yeah, I think Jaden gonna be on one.
I hope so.
Shameless for myself, I guess, but I don't know.
I just felt that was worth bringing up.
I'm with you.
I think he's competitive badass, but we're gonna see.
Like my screensavers will be Bo Nix, Drake May, and Caleb Williams on a timer. If I'm him, like my alarm goes off, I see Caleb Williams' face. You know what I'm saying? Middle of the day, my alarm goes off.
Yep. I put them highlights in my VR. That's what I would do if I'm him.
Oh man, I'm sorry. My competitor took over there for a moment. I still know that I ain't got 10 plays in my body because my foot's still killing me right now as we speak. So yeah, we good.
But last thing I'm gonna say about this game for me, guys, is anybody gonna play some defense? That's
no.
Okay.
49ers don't have a pass rush, and Chicago's defense is opportunistic.
Yep, they get turnovers and they're gonna bend and don't break and hope for a turnover. Yep.
Got
it.
The best defense you got out of this game was on the first play of the game, and that was the pop up, the pick six, walk it on back. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that play was, okay, if they can play defense like this, for the rest of this game, probably for the rest of the season, we talking about a Chicago defense like what was that, mid 2000s, that kept winning on Mike Brown picking passes off and running them back or getting timely interceptions to set up field goals. They were a cardiac team. And it made for exciting football.
Yeah, the Bears have been thriving on extra possessions because they need them. Because Caleb, he'll tear some drives up.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll eat them up.
Hey KG.
Yeah.
Omaha.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's pick up the pace. Let's go.
All right.
Hurry up. All
right. Seahawks 27, Panthers 10. Sam Darnold 18-27, 147, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Zach Charbonnet 18 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackson Smith and Jigba 9 catches, 72 yards. Bryce Young had 14-24, 54 yards. 1 pick. Rico Dowdell 12 carries, 59 yards, and Jalen Coker 2 catches, 16 yards. 5 minutes on the clock. Correspondent, take it away.
Yeah, I mean the Seahawks are up there in the NFC, right? I mean they made that defense is just so well coached. What was there pre-snap and what was post-snap for Young were 2 totally different. He was so lost and so confused. They knew what his first reads were. They took it away, and he couldn't get off it and move on. That defense is extremely well coached. Darnold, he's won 13 games again. They referenced that on Drive Time. Another bit I'm stealing. He's done that 2 times now, right? So he can learn the offense. He can execute within the offense, and JSN's always open. You were questioning Seattle. They let DK, get out of the building, but they knew they had a 1. We didn't, but they did, obviously. The Seahawks look like they're, if not the favorite, one of the 2 favorites, in my opinion, to be playing in a championship game in the NFC. Isn't that right?
Hey, let's keep it simple, baby. The Seahawks defense was outstanding. Darno. This week he was a ghostbuster, not a ghost seer. Keeping it simple in that regard. Zach Charbonnet got his touchdown in. I think he has 10 rushing touchdowns on the season, if memory serves me correctly. But I'm just not a big Panthers fan, and I think the Panthers will end up winning the division. Just because